Good evening, one and all. Welcome back once again to La Notte Eterna. I'm Kevin, your host and your humble game master tonight. We are doing a special Halloween one-shot tonight. That's right. All crazy, all saints, all Hallows Eve, all that fun stuff going on tonight. If you are tuning in for the live stream, thanks for showing up. Here we are. We're going to do this tonight for you live with some awesome, cool players. And if you're watching this on the VOD or on the YouTube premiere, it is Halloween. So happy Halloween to you. But if you're watching this after the fact, I hope you had a good Halloween. But anyway, we are playing La Notte Eterna, which, for those of you who may not know, is a grimdark fantasy setting for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. In this world, it is a spooky, creepy world of gray area morality and grimdark survival as our heroes deal with a world that has no sun. And we'll find out more about that in a little bit. So let's meet our cool players that are going to be telling this awesome tale tonight. It's going to be a little spooky. It's going to be a little creepy, maybe even a little bit more bloody and gory than some of you might be used to. So if you're ready for that, put on your wading boots. Let's go on over to my left to David. Hey, what's up? What's happening, David? Welcome back to the channel, my friend.
What's
Previously
up,
seen in Arc 1. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, it's great to be back. It's kind of weird not being Malice anymore, but
Okay.
for the moment, I mean, it just depends on what we have in the future.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's always great to be playing with my fellow murder hobo. And speaking
Yes.
of which, I am Dave, otherwise known as Bardic and Funky or Bardic AF. And yeah, I'm part of the Murder Hobo Incorporated podcast and stream, and yeah, just a wayward hobo that made his way into this world of darkness.
There we go. Who are you playing tonight?
Tonight, I am playing the Leviathan. He is a Goliath reborn legacy, and the group just refers to him as Levi because it's a lot easier than just say, "Hey, Leviathan" all the time. So.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to see what our solid giant creepy guy is going to be doing. Excellent. Thanks for being here, David. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. Jump on over to the other side. Hey, Deb. Welcome back.
Hey, Kev.
Previously in Arc 3, Blood Domain, playing Flora. So glad to have you back. Share the table.
It's so good to be back. I miss Flora every day. She's great. I'm not playing Flora tonight. I'm playing a Urakian North Wolf Barbarian. So she's a wolf person. Her name is Volka. And she's here to get into some fights.
Yes, I love it. Well, hopefully we can abide. Sounds great. Thank you so much for being here, Deb. Appreciate it. Down below, first time on La Notte Eterna, but not the first time streaming, my good friend Nate. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Kevin. I'm doing well.
Awesome. So
yeah, just real quick. Yeah, I'm playing. So, well, actually, let me back up a sec. First time looking at this La Notte Eterna material, and it is balls to the wall, power gaming. I mean, I couldn't believe like some of the powers you're getting in this at these levels. So I'm excited to play tonight and see.
Hell yeah.
Because if I'm this powerful, I got to wonder what you're going to throw at us tonight,
snap.
right?
Oh, snap.
So I chose a human warlock named Vors Vitata. And if anyone wants to do a Latin translation of that, I'll give you some inkling, some insight into my character. Like I said, human warlock, he took the spiritualist pack right out of the rule book here. And he basically is the failed experiments of these necromancers from the death goddess Kriya. And now he's haunted by these spirits that are constantly kind of interfering with his reality. And he would do anything to get rid of them, except that these spirits are where he draws his power from. And as we know in this world of darkness, power is the only thing that matters. So he is bound to them. He hates them, but he uses it to the fullest effect that he can.
Excellent. I love that. And you said you'll do anything.
Yeah, we'll see. And if we want to go old school, to put it in a little capsule, he's neutral evil.
Oh, okay. There we go. I get that reference. I love it. Well, cool. Welcome, Nate. Can't wait to see what you're going to do tonight, my friend. And hopefully this is the first of many for you, my friend. It's going to be amazing. So glad to have you here. Finally, not least, Tim, previously seen in Arc 2 as Pem, our favorite Harangon Rogue. So welcome back, buddy. How are you?
I'm battling under the weather.
Oh,
so it'll be a sick game.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you decided to battle that under the weather and come join us tonight where
Yes.
I can put you under the ground. So who are you playing tonight? Who am I going to have a fun time destroying with these others? Oh,
Well, this not being my first rodeo in this grimdark world,
Mhm.
I decided to lean into the dark. So Roche, the Shadow, or whatever you want to call him, he's Roche, is a Karave monk who is chosen of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he is the dark and is at home in the dark. And in a world without a sun,
It's everywhere.
It's pretty handy.
Mm-hmm. He is the night. Oh. Excellent. Well, good. As you can see, we've got a well-rounded party of amazing, cool folks that are playing some characters that might be a little bit more shady, and I love to see that. So, without any further ado, let's dive on into tonight's adventure to hunt monsters. In the world of Notte Eterna, as previously said, the sun has been missing for 161 years. And during this time, the folks here have learned to evolve, to adapt, and to battle their inner demons as well as their outer demons. Most people are able to do this in a certain way that establishes them as being survivors and being people who are still able to maintain their humanity. However, every once in a while there are people who are touched by the darkness so deeply that they are unable to be anything other than what their base and sometimes foul natures are. For such individuals will come to our attention tonight as they have to face a mistake made by someone else facing off against their own inner demons. So tonight, we begin with the moon is full and high over the town of Raven's Glade. Raven's Glade is an old mining and logging town that has been established on the edge of the Illyrian Wood. And because of this, it has seen its own fair share of darkness and of terror, things that go bump in the night, and of an ancient, disturbing beast that supposedly lives deep within their wood. But things have suddenly changed, and a call has been put out. A call for aid to defeat a monster that is threatening the very fabric of Raven Glade's existence. These four heroes, together, a group of renowned monster hunters, have answered said call. And so when we pick up specifically tonight, our attention is drawn to a fog-hewn road made out of dirt, the occasional brick and stone, that leads into Raven's Glade's center. In the town center, there is an old well. It is decrepit, dilapidated, and there is a lone figure who stands looking down into its dry bottom, trying to determine what sort of wish that they might be able to have that would aid them last through the night. Behind them, this individual, who when they turn, we see is a child right on the edge of becoming a teen or maybe even a young adult. They see these four individuals approaching, four individuals very much not like the townsfolk here. And this child, without any sort of hesitation, turns and runs towards one of the houses into the interior of the town square. As they run off, our four heroes step into the full moonlight, the first of which is illuminated fully. Her Iraqian features are lit as the moonlight dances across her gray fur. Deb, please tell us a little bit about Volka. What exactly do we see as she steps into the light?
Yeah, you see a wolf person. She has grayish white fur. She's from the north. She's got a dark colored cape on so that she doesn't gleam so much in the moonlight and can pass through shadows a little bit better. She has the glowing animal eyes that are a little bit yellow, and these fangs that kind of poke out from her snout a little bit, that look really fierce.
Absolutely. And standing in her wake, coming up behind her, is another figure, also in a dark cloak. This one is a crimson mixed with a burgundy. Nate, tell us a little bit about Morse as he steps forward to trail in behind and to survey the area a little bit.
Well, he seems to be a part of the shadows themselves. What skin is exposed in his from his outfit is very pale to the point of almost translucent. His eyes are rimmed in red, and they always look like they're piercing beyond you when he's speaking. Um, and if the shadows and the light are right, you might even notice an almost imperceptible vapor that swirls about him. For the most part, he seems very disconnected, and when he does speak, it is almost like he's addressing an audience rather than an individual.
Very interesting. So as he steps forward, he is human, correct? Well,
Correct.
what passes for human still in his
Yeah.
condition. He is also joined by a figure who is humanoid, but is not human, also made of the dark. This next figure actually seems to emerge out of the shadows themselves, at first looking like the shadow that Moors might cast from the moonlight, but then turns into an actual person who takes physical shape and walks in to be standing side by side with his traveling companion. Tim, please tell us a little bit about Roche, if you could. You are muted, my friend. It happens at least once a game.
At least once. There it is. Roche is stature-wise right there with Morris. Probably the same height, build, seeming. His eyes, however, are completely black. No pupils. He has what appear to be tattoos of black streaks down his cheeks, almost like tearing at his skin. He wears mostly black robes that are tied tight with dark leather, and you can't really see his feet. It's too dark. They just kind of blend in with the darkness. And he just basically stands there without any real expression on his face, not even looking up, just kind of looking down and considering whatever he's considering.
Absolutely. And the three of them would be enough to cause a little bit of an unease among anyone who might be nearby, until they are joined by a fourth figure who towers above all of them. He is almost 7 feet tall, or perhaps even slightly over, wide-shouldered, and his pale complexion is almost a direct match for the moonlight. David, if you could, tell us about our final hero tonight. Tell us a bit about the Leviathan.
As the Leviathan steps a little further out of the shadows, you can see his pale stone, almost silvery skin kind of glisten in the moonlight, but there is a green radiant light that flickers in the irises, of which you can't see anything else. Everything else is dark within the eye sockets. You know, it's there if you look, but like the sclera and all that, it's pretty dark. He moves silently. He's not lumbering, and he's a lot more agile than you would think an individual of that size to be. As he steps forward, you see this hulking figure. It seems as though he has scars, which tend to appear around joints and ligatures that the normal human body, tends to be smooth. You'll see a jagged scar that almost looks like it was stitched together, because basically he was stitched together from his dead crewmates of a Goliath war party that was seaborne. And of course they perished and their bodies were shattered upon rocks. Whomever put him back together, it seems that this armor that he's wearing is leather, but you can see it adorned with like chains. It's almost like he had broken those chains. The breastplate that he wears is covered in leather too, but is it really a breastplate or is it a carapace kind of holding it all together? So he kind of steps forward to join the others. And like you said, he's just hulking and he's quietly moving his head from side to side, just surveying the area.
Absolutely. As the four of you make your way into Raven's Glade, none of you have been here before, but you all answered the call nonetheless. A call that went out about a week ago. Luckily, you were all close enough to make the week's journey in the amount of proper time to answer the call. A call for heroes, adventurers, people who would help put down a foul, distressing beast. And as you enter into the town, you see the aftermath of what could perhaps be what the folks here might be trying to combat against. As you enter within, you do see that there is the child who runs off. As they run off, the fog seems to part around them as you see that there are men in amongst the street that are taking other folks, villagers, and pulling them up off of what would seem to be freshly bloodied and scarred battle area. You can see that there are markings across the ground. There is a chip out of the side of the well as if something large struck it or clawed at it, perhaps. These men and the occasional woman you notice as well are pulling at these figures who all seem to be near death, very hurt. You can see that they are being put on some sort of stretchers and being carried off to the side. And the child weaves through this as if they are somehow used to it, and they disappear off into the side. And as you all approach, what is the first thing that goes through your mind? How do you all typically approach a new job, a new application of your skills, your very unique skills that you all have in this world of darkness, of the eternal night?
Volka would look around for anyone that seems to be in charge.
Okay. You look around, you can see that there's a couple of men who are yelling out orders, or not really yelling out, but giving orders, directing people which ways to go. And they all seem to do this, not really in sort of anyone's really in charge so much as they've all just been given this honorific of having to do this night. You can tell that some of them seem newer at this. Maybe this is a matter of this duty is actually spread out because other people who might have done this previously are now the ones being put on these stretchers and carried away. From where you are at, Levi, I'll call you Levi for the sake of ease tonight.
Sure.
You can see off to the side, there is a small hill just to the outside of this small little village that has row upon row of headstones. It would seem that there is about 24, and they all seem to be relatively new.
Okay.
So, you all are here, and as you are looking around trying to give an idea who might be in charge of Volka, you do see that there is suddenly a figure who emerges from a nearby house behind the child that you all saw bob and weave and go into that house. This figure is an older woman, a human, who is very petite, very slim build. She has graying, almost silvery hair. She looks like she is in middle age, probably close to 60 years or so. And as she approaches, you see she is actually holding onto the arm of the child who is guiding her in towards the center of the town square, towards the center where the well is at. The child is doing this not in a way that the woman does not seem strong, just that clearly you all can tell by the way she carries herself, and then by the fact that her eyes are both cataracted over without use, that this woman is blind. But she does seem to have a position of power. She does seem to be someone who can handle herself, and the child just bringing her forward to present her. And almost as if she can see you all standing there, her head turns in the direction of the four of you who have stood there, not announced yourselves yet. I trust that you are the four that I have summoned here, she says.
Are
Who might
you in
be your-
charge
oh,
here?
I am indeed. Are you in charge of your band, your crew, as it were?
None of us is in charge. We simply work together.
For equals, then, I see. Interesting. I always find that in time of trouble and need, there is always at least one who becomes a leader, whether they want to or not. But I digress. All four of you are here. You have answered the summons.
We have. What besets you?
Well, as I have stated in my letter, there is a great beast that stalks the wood here. It has been here for some time. It has plagued my people. It has actually taken several of the strong men, the huntsmen, who have previously been let out to try to slay and destroy this foul creature. In the process, their lives have been forfeit, and she actually motions in the direction of those headstones on the side, and it's almost as if the fog splits, and you all see them now, not just Levi seeing them. They were the first of several, as you can see. First those men, and then able-bodied boys and young men who were sent out after them. Even some others who came from neighboring towns and villages who sought to, at first, have glory in slaying said beast, and others who came for the purpose such as you, to perhaps gain notoriety or even gold for their trouble. I show you this not to make you fearful, but to let you know that you are not the first who have tried to slay this beast. And you may not be the last.
Levi is listening, even though he is silent. He's got that 1,000-yard stare, staring at the cemetery in which they had just pointed out to us. Of course, he saw it first because he towers over everybody. And he was staring not only out of curiosity, but I think seeing the bodies on the stretchers, some distorted. I take it some were not living. Is that correct, Kev?
There are some that were dead. Most of them were alive, very severely injured.
Mm-hmm.
If you all want, you can move closer to look around to investigate.
Okay. This triggers a memory for Eli, so because of that feature for his, memories of past lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is remembering, because he had a little life left in him, just the contorted and distorted and broken bodies of his crewmates on the shore and just being picked up and carried. So it kind of triggers the memory for him.
Absolutely. Were you going to say something, Roche?
Roche approaches this person and says, "Have you seen the beast?"
Is that supposed to be funny?
No, I don't joke.
I have not seen this beast, no. I suspect that those who are lying here, or perhaps those who are lying there, and she motions to the graves again, have, however. There is one who survived, someone before I was in charge here, who said that the beast's eyes burned with a foul, hellish fire. Almost as if the sun itself was given form, two orbs of burning hatred. But that may just be a legend, too. I do not know.
Do you know who is this person?
Well, it would have been my uncle. He was the person in charge of the town before I took over. He is no longer with us. He
You said
passed.
was. I understood. One of the living who is less injured, can you put them in the shadows, please?
Certainly, I suppose this is part of your way you do things?
It is a thing.
Might I have it then in accord with all of you that you are taking this job?
Roche looks at the other three and is like,
I am
Levi
bound to
nod-
this now.
Levi
Okay.
just nods his head.
I have nothing else to do in the meantime.
nice.
Excellent. Put one of them into the shadows, she says to no one and to everyone at the same time. And there are some nearby men who, without any sort of hesitation, they take one of the men that are in the stretchers. You can see he's barely clinging on to life, so much so that you would think he was dead, other than when they start to carry him, he shifts slightly and his hand moves. They carry him off to the side, just out of the reach of some of the fires that are nearby. It's just torches and things of this nature, not like a big roaring fire or anything like
Right.
that.
I hate this part. Roche is going to go over to the man and not. He's just going to lean down and say, "Let me in." And whether this guy hears it or not, he's going to cast Detect Thoughts and begin to dig,
Okay.
looking for the beast.
Interesting. Okay. So, specifically when you do detect thoughts, the surface thoughts that you begin to see and feel manifested through this man, they come over you. At first, it's very subtle, and then suddenly it clings and grabs onto almost like a beast itself. This man's memories, this man's vision of this thing that attacked him is so visceral, so strong that it comes at you and it almost knocks you back for a moment. But being a monk, you are ever finessed and steady on your feet, so you don't fall over, you don't move, but you take this burden. And in your mind's eye, you see what seems to be a large shadow, probably close to 10 feet tall, that is wide, but it moves with an unnatural grace. What you do notice is the shadow itself moves in such a way that it's not a shadow, though. It's definitely a form, but it defies regular physical logic. You can see that some of its joints seem to be the opposite direction, or that some of the now dark, coarse fur that you can see semi-illuminated by the moonlight around the edge of its body are actually glistening and actually shifting slightly, almost as if there's a light coming from within as well as the moonlight from without. You know instinctively, this is not a trick of the light. It's not like this is a reflection. This creature has light inside of it that is being contained and is struggling to get its way out. As this creature turns towards you in the detect thoughts, you feel terror, you feel fear, and you feel complete and utter just petrification. You feel for a moment the terror that that man had. And were you a lesser man, that would be enough to make you afraid, just from the proximity of it.
Thankfully, I have a stillness of mind that allows me to avoid fright. I'm going to try to separate the emotion of the moment with the vision, and try to just get what this person's mind saw.
Okay. Go ahead, just make an investigation check for me, please.
Okay. A 19.
Okay. You focus on the physical appearance of what this man saw. You really try to hone in on that. And it's such a blur. It's so fast. You catch just glimpses. Again, this fur, the sparks of light as it moves, as it turns, as its mouth opens, you see snarling, large teeth, not unlike a wolf's teeth. The slaver that drips and runs down across them. A light that emerges from within its mouth that is not unlike firelight. And large, inescapable claws that have a certain screech as they move through the air, seeming to cut it as well as the man down. But you don't get a good glimpse of it. It's so fast, and the man's mind has really exaggerated how terrifying it is that
Right.
this thing has got to be the biggest, scariest, largest beast that's ever lived.
So I'll pull back out and then look at the three and just to all of them at the same time say, it is around 10 feet, moves unnaturally, moves like nothing. It is burning within. Some kind of light. Some kind of fire.
Levi's eyes glow again, and Roche hears in his mind because he and Roche have this understanding with each other. So Roche just hears the word share and then please.
Right. I should have thought of that. Why didn't I think of that? So I'll just take the mental picture, the best mental picture I can put together, and I'll just send it to each of them in their heads.
Okay. So all
That
of
is
you
visceral.
Yes.
As it was
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
No, I'll pull back all the rough stuff and just like the bare bones.
With the
of what I-
PG-13 version. Of it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And yeah, you all see this beast, or at least what you can see about it. And you've all hunted beasts before. You guys are monster hunters. You've been doing this for a while. You're strong, capable people. But this thing does look large and powerful. The way it moves, the way it just seems to blur. Who knows? But it could be an interesting challenge. And as this is all going on, the woman, the older woman, who was the leader of the town, looks to you, Volka. If you will forgive me, I will address you. I have a certain understanding that the others wish to play at what is happening, but you seem to be more in tune with the business at hand. I, as I mentioned, am in charge here. I am Anna Ravenna, and I am fourth of a line of the Ravenna family who have been in charge of Raven's Glade, as it is in the common tongue. No longer the Redur del Corvo that it is in the Karevi tongue. I wish to speak with you all directly. I wish to let you know what exactly it is you are dealing with, the history of this creature, and what exactly you may be prepared to see. What say you?
Levi nods affirmatively.
During this whole time, Moors would have been sort of captivated by the gravestones in the cemetery scene and any of the restless spirits that recently deceased from this spirit, and especially the children she mentioned. He sees them all coming for him and becoming part of his nature. And in doing so, especially the children, kind of brings a mournful sorrow to him. And he leans down, and the girl that was leading the old woman, and he kind of touches her on the head and says, "Pray, child, that their fate doesn't become yours." Probably scares her.
Yeah.
Frightens her.
You see her very visibly. It looks at you. Her eyes go wide. It's the first time she's been shaking. Like I said, you saw her moving in about the dead and the dying as if it didn't bother her. But this does. You can see she's just as. You hear voices in the night air. Nobody else does, but these voices come to you, Moors, because of the background that you have, because of what was done to you those years ago. You hear flittering voices. Help us. Why did this happen? Please.
And while still looking at the girl, so she probably thinks I'm saying it to her, I say, "We are here to help." Sort of angrily.
Morris, you're talking to people now.
Can you, Morris, please make, if you could, an intimidation check. I know you're not trying to, but these things happen.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. You see the girl, she starts weeping, tears stream down her face, and she actually hides in behind the leader of the town, Anna Ravenna. Anna puts her hand on her, puts her behind her. It is all right, child. These folks have come to save us all. They have come to stop the creature that threatens your night. Please.
We've come to stop the creature. I can't promise you'll be saved. I know.
Volka bends down so that she's eye level with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, the monsters are scary, but we are the ones the monsters fear.
Child must learn.
Yeah.
If you could, Volka, make a persuasion roll at disadvantage.
It's a 1.
Oh no! Oh no!
All that.
Man, we just replaced this girl's nightmare. That's what we just did.
Your words don't seem to have a calming effect on the girl. She's not more afraid, but she's not helped. She's not calmed down by the fact that you are saying you're scarier than monsters. I mean, you are a wolf person, and although Iraqians are common in the world of Nier, she's pretty freaked out already, and there's a lot going on. But Anna just pats the child on her shoulder. It is all right, Sophia. We will take them to my home. I will tell them what it is they will face, and they will face it. Everyone of Radura del Corvo, of Raven's Glade, do not be afraid any longer. The night is dark, and the people here have come to shed the light again. I have given my word and the word of my family on my ancestry that we will see through this. See to the hurt, see to the dying. Know that we will make it through the night again. And she just turns, and the child kind of collects herself a little bit and starts to lead you guys towards the house that Anna came out of. Is there anything any of you would like to do in the town here before you follow her? She doesn't move at a very quick pace, so you have a moment to do something if you wish.
After she says that, Levi in his head hears Roche say, "She presumes a lot."
Roche hears back, yes.
Indeed. Okay. So you all follow in behind her, and as you do, Morse, you do hear, as you guys are walking through, there are the people that are around, the people that are on the stretchers. You do see that one of the men, as you're walking, you are within about maybe 4 or 5 feet of him. You see his hand reach up towards you. Please.
I approach him, but I don't see him so much as I see his spirit trying to escape, and I engage with that part of him.
As his physical form reaches out and you speak to the other part of him, you see that there is something that moves just slightly out of tune with his body. His spirit, as it were, that you connect and that you can see, looks up at you. It is large. It comes from the night. Its teeth slash. Its claws bite. It came from the sky. It came from beyond.
I kind of close his eyes down and say, now, rest for the eternal sleep. It is your time to pass. Come, I say to the spirit, like reach my arm out to have it snake and coil its way.
Mm-hmm. And as it coils around your arm and as you pull away from the dying man, as your hand slides away from his, as you set it onto the stretcher he's on, you can tell it goes still in that final repose. And the spirit pulls out of him, and you walk with it for a moment until, unseen by your companions, but somehow on a strange level that doesn't maybe make sense or is known to you, Levi, you feel that man's spirit enter into Moore's. You've noticed this before. Whether or not you've said this to him or not is up to you, but
Right. It is good that you said that, because I was going to play to that fact. Levi saw it.
for sure. And so you all follow Anna to her home. It is, for lack of a better description, the larger of the homes here. These are all cottages, log cabins, things of this nature with thatched roofs. All of the cabins and homes here have fire going. It is late fall, so it's starting to get a little chilly. There is that fog on the ground, as I mentioned. The air has a little bit of that clinging nature to it, that humidity that is just on the verge of being something heavier. And as you walk, you see that her home is a little bit bigger. They're all just single-story homes, however. She has made it to the front porch and is being led in by Sophia. As she goes within, you can immediately notice that as the door opens, there's nothing lit inside. Why would there need to be? She doesn't have need of seeing anything. But everything in here is very properly arranged, very neatly organized, and you can see that there is wood in the fireplace that would be ready to blaze up a fire, but it's not currently going. There's a rocking chair that's near it, more than likely where she would sit, and Sophia does in fact start to lead her towards that rocking chair. The door remains open for you all to follow.
Levi
As we
will
are
be the
entering the
last.
building, I communicate what I just learned from the dying man to Rausch. And, this creature that you played in our minds with, it came from the sky.
Aye.
Was it winged?
My one way of not getting to it is through the air.
Anybody who would like to make any sort of check to know any sort of maybe what knowledge or whatever this might adhere to could try to make a nature check. Now these would require you to be proficient in them, so you could try to make a knowledge nature check or a knowledge arcana check. If you are proficient in those skills, you could attempt this.
23 nature.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. One of the common things that happens here near in the world of eternal night is that there are meteors that fall down from the sky quite regularly. There is a celestial war that rages on above all of your heads right now, even as we speak, a war between heaven and other forces. The battle that resulted in Laun, the god of the sun, being stripped from his perch. This is why the sun set and has not re-risen, is because he's not there to govern over it. But because of the celestial war, because of the power that is there, pieces of things, artifacts, creatures, perhaps even people, sometimes rain down upon the earth, and when they do, they change near in unexpected ways. It's possible that this creature came from such a meteor.
They're from this war. Then they're the offshoots of. And they're not constantly trying to break into this world. They're just kind of fallen into this world.
Yeah, the meteor specific, I think everybody kind of would have a general idea of the meteors are, they're basically remnants of the war, collateral damage, I guess you could say,
Gotcha,
things that
yeah.
do fall. There is the occasional tale that you all might have heard. Maybe these are considered ghost stories, or maybe these are truths, who knows. There are the tales of sometimes there are meteors that are sent down with specific purpose, but those tales are few and far between. So you all enter into the home.
Yes.
That
Find
is
the
you.
corner.
Okay. It's very shadowy in here, you'll notice, Roche. There's lots of places for you to feel comfortable. When you all enter, Anna does sit down in the rocking chair. You all are welcome to start a fire if it would warm your weary bones from travel. I am comfortable, but if you need it, you are welcome. And she motions to the fireplace.
Girl, start the fire for the old woman.
Sophia, with a start, realizes that you're talking to her, and then she goes over, and then she does, in fact, she knows how to do it. Yeah, she starts setting the wood, like I said, is already arranged. She just puts a couple of pieces of some drier tinder inside, and she pulls out some matches from nearby and goes to work. And in just a few moments, she has it going. It's been positioned properly enough that pretty much as soon as she lights it, it becomes a blaze, and the fireplace is quickly roaring up and going to full force. And there's already warmth starting to spread throughout the room. I apologize, I do not have more seating for all of you. I don't get very many visitors. The life of one who leads is not entirely one with companionship. Well, to be blunt, I never took a husband, and I have no children. So I am the last of the Ravenna to watch over the town of Ravensglade.
Levi definitely would not have taken a seat because chances are it would have crumbled under him. So.
Sure. Absolutely.
Tell me, woman.
Oh, good.
When was the last attack?
The last attack came about 2 hours before you all arrived. It would seem the beast is hungry. It has been striking with more fervor and with a greater purpose. It has been attacking with a more regular schedule. Up until about a year ago, it actually only attacked once a year. It would seem that at that time we were enough to fend it off, and this time of the fall, when the moon was at its zenith, and when the barriers, as the stories go, between the world of the dead and the world of the living are thinnest, it would find itself here again. But something must have changed because it has come more frequently, as you have seen.
What?
It does not wander far from this place.
I would expect not. But I do not know the creature's mind or its purpose, only that I know that it is here and it has attacked my people. Its howls, its baying can be heard at all hours of the night sometimes. It is a miracle that we have not heard it this night. Perhaps it has been sated from the attack outside. It did devour one of the men of the town almost entirely, and his remains have been moved to not distress anyone. I am reluctant to admit that there's not enough to bury.
But they're nearby? You haven't buried them?
I don't believe there is enough to bury, to be honest. But it would probably be the proper thing to do. He is also the last of his family, and so therefore he doesn't have anyone who put a big hurry and a rush on it.
Levi, formerly having been the shaman and oracle of his war party, remembers that predators usually don't scatter too far from their prey until the food source is not sustainable. So, in looking around at the town, he thinks this, he definitely, and he confirms with the other, this thing will be back. Or it hasn't left. So.
Yeah, I could try speak dead, glean more information.
Morse, do you think that speaking with the dead will yield more than what we already have?
Perhaps not. Perhaps he's dead. So he didn't know how to hurt it. Old woman, so you've been fighting this creature, it sounds, for years, keeping it at bay. What have you used to greatest success?
Well, I wouldn't say that we have been fighting it. Otherwise, we probably could have taken care of it without hiring outsiders, but we would put a bit of a sacrifice, animals, larger and larger portions, I guess you could say, at the edge of the town, and we would hear its cries, its screaming, its roaring, its ripping and tearing in the night, and then they would all be gone by the daytime. I have not seen this either. My affliction has been upon me since my birth. But sometimes the sounds that come from the night, they fill me with such a vision that I can only dare think that what people would see would be not nearly half as terrifying as what my imagination has created the beast to be. But I am not the victim here. My people are, which is why I have called for your aid. I would be remiss if I did not tell you exactly what I think is happening here, but you are welcome to do your own manners of investigation and of looking into things. But the beast has been here since the time of my great-grandfather, the original founder of the town. He discovered it almost by accident, and, well, there was a certain terror that gripped him even in his waking hours. It grew more and more distressing, enough to be a time when, this was before I was born, of course, but he had to be put away from the others of the town, for he began to harm himself, to harm the town, to burn buildings down before they were decrepit or derelict. He even tried to burn his family, my grandfather told me. When he was a boy, he tried to burn down the house with them inside, but they stopped him before such a thing happened. And my grandfather said that there was a certain fire that gripped him as well as he neared his 30th winter. The fire burned in his soul, but also burned outside as well. He did die in fire. The home you see here is a reconstruction of the original. He burned it down with himself inside to get away from the terrors that gripped him. And my father died before the terror and the fire found him as well, but I have so far been exempt from the fire that burned through my family, and I do not know why, but it is the way it is.
Besides yourself, what other town elders are there? Is there a man-at-arms? Is there a council?
No, there is not. It is I. And as I mentioned, because I have no one else to pass it on to, that I am the last. And I dare say that even if it must be my dying duty, I will see that this beast is removed once and for all. Its terror has grown too large, its destruction has grown too wanton. I fear for the future of my people.
Who can take us to the site where the last it was seen?
I think we just walked through it.
I believe you are asking if maybe there is a home of the creature, a place where it lies down and makes birth, as it were.
Well, you had also mentioned that you've given sacrifice to this creature. Where does that take place at?
There is, and before you can speak more, you all start to suddenly hear it starts kind of quiet at first, but then it's been picking up volume a little bit. At first, it sounded like the people outside continuing to shout orders to each other and to give common call to what was going on to try to pick up the bodies and help each other out. But now what you're starting to hear are raised voices. You actually start to hear that the people outside are starting to yell. The chanting is turning into almost like a mob-like mentality. You all can hear growing voices, anger, and then you actually hear something break outside, and you hear a voice, "No, what are you doing? This is not right. Silence, out of our way!" And someone gets struck, and something gets toppled outside. What do you all do?
Look to Levi.
Yep.
You hear
In Volca.
yeah, they just hear him say villagers with pitchforks. It's not unheard of for those of us and one such as me. And he crosses the floor and gazes out of the window.
You gaze out the front window of the home, and what you see is that in the center of the town where everybody was collecting bodies, now the fog has receded quite a bit. A lot of it is lumen, so you guys can see the moonlight's very bright tonight, being a full moon. And what you can see is that there are about a dozen villagers that seem to be dressed a little bit different than the rest of the villagers that you saw. These villagers also have a very stern, malicious look to them. As they are moving, you can see that they have an unnatural glow to their eyes, an amber color that almost looks like cinders, that last bit of fire that is in the bonfire before it totally goes out is caught within their eyes. There are also runes that are deeply carved into their foreheads, not bleeding, but seem to have been there for a while. They are, in fact, armed with pitchforks. Some of them have torches. And as they're doing this, they are yelling, "We want Ravenna brought out here! There is time for justice now! Bring her out here!"
I think they're calling for you, woman.
What is this manner of distress? Sophia, stay here. And she motions for the girl to stay, and she grips the side of her rocking chair and stands. And she knows the inside of her home well, so she actually comes up to stand by the front door, and she reaches to open it and go to see what's going on.
Volca will go first.
Okay.
And Roche will gently steer her away from the door and tell her, it's better if you don't see what happens next. In a very unironic way.
Roche, when you touch her and you guide her off to the side, she's very, very warm. Unnaturally so. Now, granted, there was the fire that was going, and she was sitting right next to it.
Right.
But this is different. It almost feels like she herself has a fever, or she's very, very hot, like she herself is a fire.
Whoa.
You almost have to recoil from it. Bring her out here now! And as they see Volca step through the front door, they stop. "Who are you, stranger? We don't care for your kind around here."
That is what I thought they would say.
What is this ruckus you are making?
"We have had enough of the death and the destruction here. Look what has happened here. Her family has brought this down upon us. For generations now, they have been feeding that beast, making it stronger, bringing it here. And now look what has happened. Our brothers, our friends, our fathers are being killed in the streets while she sits in her home. We will not stand any longer. We will not obey. Bring her out here." And you see that one of them actually gets a rope and tosses it over like a post that's nearby one of the front of the homes. And there's a like a noose that flops down on the side. Like, these people mean business.
We
Levi-
will not bring her out until you have calmed down.
And gone away. You hear in your head.
You continue, you will make me angry, and you do not want to see me angry.
Levi instinctually crosses over to Ravana and, with a grace that's, surprisingly delicate to the touch, touches her forehead and gives her a blessing of Tenebris and casts resistance upon her, just in case.
Interesting. If you could, for the viewers at home, please, David, just take a second. Tell us who Tenebris is. I know it's your deity, but what exactly is his connection to the world here?
Levi is actually trying to figure that out because he has all kinds of actually kind of these infernal-like powers. So to him, he's always assumed that this is a dark deity, although not necessarily non-benevolent. And that's the way he sees Tenebris. So,
Interesting.
And thus being an acolyte of his, is still trying to discover the secrets that this deity may harbor and, someday enlighten him about the forces that are keeping him together. He's also almost a little resentful that he's not at peace, with,
Interesting. Okay. Very interesting.
So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. A very interesting stance for a cleric to take. Interesting. I love it. Okay, cool. So, as this is happening, if we could, Volka, please make either an intimidation or a persuasion roll, however you were trying to approach that man.
Nine.
What type? What was that? Intimidation?
It was intimidation.
Intimidation. Okay. So you tell them that they're going to make you angry, and they won't like you when you're angry. The whole Bill Bixby approach. And what happens is one of them instantly looks around, picks up a piece of rock. It looks like actually it's nearby the well. It's for those who would be close enough to see. It is a piece of the brick of the well that was damaged that I mentioned when you all came in, and he chucks it at you. With an 18 to hit you.
That's my armor class.
Okay. It slams right into your forehead. You are going to take 2 points of damage, but it might be enough to make you angry. I'm not sure. Now, you are a North Wolf barbarian, so how quick to anger are you to fly, Volka?
I think Volka will sort of bound over to him and just try to grab him by the throat and sort of bare her fangs at him.
Okay. Volka, as you bound out of the front door and you close the distance between where the door is and where he is in the center of town, almost in a flash, almost in an instant, and you grab a hold of him, rip him up off of his feet, slam him up against the well. Let's have everybody roll initiative.
Sure.
And let's bring up our map in Owlbear Rodeo, which we always love to use. This map is by our good friends over at Neutral Party. We love their maps. They are always so much fun. I'm going to do this. I'm going to move those who haven't moved outside of the home yet back over here, because I just kind of put you guys randomly there. But so here's Volka here, and we're going to put the leader, this guy right here. Like that, so that we kind of have a better idea what's going on. Now, there are, of course, regular villagers and things nearby. I didn't bother making tokens with them because they're not going to fight. They're going to be very freaked out and disturbed by the fact that all of this is going on. So, you know what? Let me grab a piece of paper real quick. Kevin's old school. I do paper.
So old school.
I know they have cool like combat trackers and all kinds of fun things like that, but I just love paper and pencil. So anyway, Volka, what did you get?
Because I always bomb my initiative roll somehow, got a 10.
Nice. Okay, and I'm going to roll for them first, and then I'll ask the party. Okay, they're going to go on a 9. Okay, and then let's ask the party, even though there will be a round that Volka and the guys go on before you all enter. So let's go ahead with... I'll just go right down my screen here. Let's go with Roche. What did you get?
That's a 22.
Oh boy. And what did you get, Mars?
An 8.
Okay. And Levi?
I was surprised it was this high because of his dex.
Uh-huh.
It's a 12.
Oh, wow. Okay. Alrighty. So, you pick up the man and you snarl in his face. What are you doing? Like, this is an actual combat turn, so what do you want to do?
I'm gonna take my claws and just try to rake him across the face.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm going to have you attack with advantage because you have a hold of him, and he's a bit surprised by the fact that you just bounded out there and grabbed a hold of him.
17.
Oh yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
And 7 damage. Slashing
Okay.
damage.
You got it. Yeah, so you bound forward and you just slice him across the face. It cuts through his cheek, part of his lip. He's got a beard that's going to be partially shaved a little bit. You break the skin, not enough to like disfigure or to destroy this man's face, but enough to get the point across. And he actually looks a bit surprised. Again, this all came so fast. He was not expecting this. Now that you are close, you see the glowing amber eyes. You see the rune on his forehead, and you can tell that there is something else going on here. But what that might be, you're not entirely sure right this moment. Everybody else that is around him springs into action. We said bring her out here! And they all start moving in either around you or towards the home to try to get to Anna. So I'm just going to move some of them around to distinguish that, and then it will go ahead and will be at the top of the round. It's going to be Roche's turn.
Right. So there are. Oh, you're still moving. Never mind.
No, they shall be moved.
Oh, it just updated on.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right. Not going to leave her like that. So, letting go of the old woman, I'm going to step outside, like maybe surprising this guy, punch him in the face.
Okay. Absolutely.
25 to hit.
I have a sneaking suspicion that will hit. Yeah.
Does 9 bludgeoning.
Okay. You bound out the front of the door, and with a flying knee that you jump up off the ground and slam into this guy's throat, he staggers back and he falls down to his knees and then falls to the ground, choking and trying to catch his breath. And he doesn't seem like he's going to be fighting you anytime soon. So he's just pretty much down. He's not dead or anything, but he's definitely like reconsidering what's going on. But anything else you want to do?
Yep, I'll keep moving
Okay.
to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll throw another. Oh, geez, natural 19. 28 to hit.
Okay. Yep.
11 this time, as I'll throw an elbow this time.
Okay. Yeah. You almost like shadow that is dancing across the area here because of the flickering lights nearby, the flickering torchlight nearby. You move in a blur almost through the shadows themselves, because that is in fact actually what you did do. You move through the shadows. You come out of the shadow on the other side and you spin and elbow the guy right in the temple, and he just collapses on watery knees as he slams into the ground. And the rest of them are starting to kind of move and trying to pitch in closer to try to get to Anna's home. Do you have anything else that you're doing? I know you're a monk. You got lots of movements and stuff.
Got lots of movement. So it is. How do I ping?
There is a little. It looks almost like a little windshield wiper looking thing on the side. It's
Yeah.
below the. Looks like a square above the T.
Pointer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just forgot. I changed my color to black.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes.
Is this one the one that she's got pinned?
Yes.
Okay. So I will move to this side, and I will key point flurry of blows on this person.
Awesome.
22 to hit,
Mm-hmm.
and another 11.
Excellent.
I can make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. Okay. This feels broken. But I'm just gonna move over here and attack with my final flurry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's the nat 1.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
That was coming.
Yeah, so you continue to move at blurring speed. That one guy you move over, you just a couple of quick flash movements, and he drops as well, slumped up against the well. You roll across the back, not touching, but like it looks like you roll across the back of Volca, do a flying side kick into the face of the other one, or you would, except he actually brings up a pitchfork and he stabs it up towards your leg, but it goes around your foot and it knocks you off balance enough. Not off balance, but the guy would think he knocks you off balance. You move off to the side and land next to him, and he pulls it up in front of him like he's going to try to fight you with it. You see that burning amber in his eyes.
So at that point, Roche is going to raise his head up because he's had his head down the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to look dead black eyes into this amber-eyed guy.
Nice. Just stare him down. I love it. I love it. Does he need to make any sort of check or anything, or is he just cinematic?
No, just a flavor at the end.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you just stare him down, and it would then going to be Levi the Leviathan's turn.
Okay. So
you are still in the house, but
yeah,
you're pretty.
So
big,
he
so you might
uses
be able
his movement. So you hear those Goliath forbidding footsteps. Just pound on the floor planks of the house itself. So when a Hulk lumbers, is
oh yeah,
you hear the chains rattling too. And as he moves outside, let's see if I can. He sees the guy right there, and
guy,
you just kind of hear that guttural, "I see you," and he has to do a dex save, because basically what happens if you watch the TV show Loki, when his powers come up, that green flame like thing.
Cool.
So imagine something like that, or Maleficent, and just green and almost a black ember flame, whoosh, as he casts Sacred Flame.
Oh, cool. All right, so he's got to make a dex save, you said?
Yes.
Okay, he's going to do this at disadvantage because he's prone and he's hurt. So he is going to fail with a 7.
Okay, so he is going to take 22 points of dark radiant damage.
Okay. That dark radiant damage comes out, and there is the feeling of Tenebris is within you. His power, like you said, that is a blessing and a curse, because it feels like it is malevolent and evil, but also is benevolent towards you. Well, it's definitely malevolent towards this guy, because as you slam the Sacred Flame down, it just engulfs him, and it burns out that amber flame in his eyes as you just engulf this guy, and he goes up in flames, and quickly his skin begins to bubble and pop as he starts to internally scream, and something within him is extinguished along with the radiant power that you streak down through him, and he is most assuredly dead, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, I believe that concludes Levi's turn, and he looks in the direction of the one that Volca lunged for.
Mm-hmm.
And locks eyes with it.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. Okay. Volca, you still have a hold of that guy. You did slash him across the face, and what do you wish to do?
I am gonna let him go and step here. And as I kind of move through these, I'm gonna say to the guy I was holding, "You should not have made me angry." And Volka's gonna let out a howl and use her glacial wind action. And
okay.
so everyone within 20 feet, every opponent within 20 feet needs to make a 16 wisdom save.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, let me do something real quick to make sure. You said within 20 feet, huh? Oh, yeah. That's, Now, is it just in front of you, or is it a full sphere?
It is, I
cone?
believe, just a full sphere.
Oh, my. Okay. They have to make, I'm sorry, a
16 wisdom.
wisdom save. Okay. I'm just going to roll because there are 1, 2, basically half the group. so I'm well, I'll just roll quick. I'm sure they're all going to be
We're fine.
okay. 2 of them passed and the other ones failed. So I'm going to just assign it randomly here. That get my pointer out. This one here passed, and this one here passed. So these 2 gentlemen here passed, and then this one, this one, this one, and this one all failed.
The ones that failed are now frightened.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense. All those ones, they start to panic, their eyes go wide, and even though they are burning with that unnatural fire, they all start to back away and move, getting further and further away from you. This guy over here is actually, it's a woman actually, she's pushing herself up against the house there, and she's like, trying to just get away from you. They are terrified right now. The other 2 who are not frightened, did they take any damage or anything, or are they just...
No, they do not.
Okay, well, I love it.
Nothing.
That is awesome.
And then as my bonus action, I would like to rage.
I would like to rage. Yes. So you throw out another howl, and when you do, you roar out into the night, and in the far distance, there is a roar that answers back. And when that happens, you see all of their eyes flicker for a second, almost as if some sort of connection or effect on them flickers for a moment. And with that, it is going to be. I'm sorry. Are you all set there, Volka? Okay. It's. Oh, I gotta bump something. Sorry, that was really loud. Okay, so then they are going to react. So yeah, most of them are running. The ones who are frightened, they have to try to get away from you, basically. So they are going to try to do that. They start moving up across. Oh, that's the wrong guy. They start moving up across the houses, as I was mentioned. They're just full on trying to get away. The leader guy, he full on tries to run right past you, Roche, but you used your bonus action to do your flurry of blows and everything. But you still have a reaction if you want to take an attack of opportunity against him. You don't have to, but if you want to.
No.
Okay, so you let him pass. You just kind of get a smirk on your face, knowing that you could take him out, but you don't. And he just tries to move away from you. And then it is going to be Mars. Your turn, sir.
Moors.
Excuse me.
He'll step outside the home, just with sort of a disdain for these people. Foolish men with foolish ideas. And I will Eldritch Blast the 3, these 2 next to each other, and this third one hanging out way over here. So I raise a finger and speak a word.
Mm-hmm.
And roll dice slowly. So the
That's
first
okay.
one, 25 probably hits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
22.
Mm-hmm.
And a 16.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yep. In fact, yeah, your 3 Eldritch Blasts. What color does your magic manifest as? What does the effect look like?
It most of it is at its focus, at its hottest, if you will, if you were to compare it to a flame, is an emerald green that slowly fades to a white. So it's a white of like representing those souls, the green kind of representing the magic of it all. So the Eldritch Blast from where it originates from my hand is I'd be glowing in a green light, but by the time it hits my foes here, it would manifest itself as spirits just tearing them apart.
Yes. Okay.
Speaking of which, damage for those. 10 to the first guy.
Okay.
Only 6 to the second one, and 7 to the third.
Ooh, all right. Still pretty powerful. These guys are not ready for people of your caliber. So, yeah, the Eldritch Blast just streaks out. It slams into them. You can see it start to burn and singe away. They're clearly getting overwhelmed. Again, the light is flickering in their eyes like something unnatural is going on. And Ravenna, Anna, she gets to the front of her door. She goes, "No, please stop this. This is not the way. We will get through this together. Everyone, please stop. Stop." She's going to make a check real quick with disadvantage because everybody's fighting. Oh boy, that's a nat 1 and a nat 20. I'm not even joking. So she's going to take the nat 1, unfortunately. So even with her bonus 2 persuasion, it's still going to not be all that helpful. So everybody just keeps fighting. There's no any sort of commotion. There's no there is commotion. Excuse me. There's no sort of calming effect. She is just yelling to the nothing. She's screaming into the void, as it were. And back up to the top with Roche.
Right. So let's hop the well, run up to this guy, and this time around, I think I'm going to attempt to grapple him, to put him in a headlock.
Okay.
So I think that's just athletics, right?
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check opposed to his. You have to beat a 12.
Right. 18.
Okay. Yeah, so you move over to there, you jump the well and kind of sprint over to him, moving through the shadows again. As you get up to him, you grab a hold of him, spin him around into a headlock motion, and you have a hold of him.
I will simply tell him, whisper into his ear. Well, no, I won't whisper in his ear. I keep forgetting I'm a telepath. I will speak into his mind with just a harsh tone. Give up now, or I break your neck.
Okay. Go ahead and make an intimidation check, please, with advantage. Because this guy is frightened.
Intimidation.
Granted, it's frightened of Volca, but I think you'll still have a
I'll
little
take
bit
the
better.
22.
Okay. He stops resisting, not fully. You could tell that there's something still trying to spur him on, to drive him on, but most of him wants to stop. You could see there's an internal conflict. You could tell from the way his body is tensing, and the struggle is real, it would seem. Anything else?
I'll leave it there.
Okay. Levi, how about you, sir?
He takes a step and grabs the stone that hit Volca.
Mm-hmm.
Is that guy the guy that struck Volca initially is no more, right? Correct.
The guy who threw it at her is this guy who's way back here.
Oh yeah.
Moved over to there.
Perfect. Yeah, I would like to pick up the stone, and I guess it would count as an unarmed strike.
What are you trying to do
What,
specifically?
Kevin?
What are you trying
I'm
to
gonna hit him with the stone.
Just like hit him with it or throw it at him?
Throw it like Tom Brady going for a ring.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack roll. So roll dexterity, improvise. So I don't think we'll get you a proficiency bonus, but yeah, go ahead and roll your dexterity, and see what happens.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Dexterity roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, righty. Oh, he net won that.
Oh, You throw it, it goes wide. It actually, when you throw it, it actually,
I threw
as
it
you're,
too far.
it goes over the guy. You hear this house that's next to him. There's like a sound as it smashes through part of the thatch roof, and as it bounces across and knocks some stuff over inside the house.
I don't hear anybody shriek or anything
No,
like
no.
that.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Do you want to move at all, or you want to stay right there?
Yeah. Evi just kind of looks at at his companion and steps out. Kind of gives him a nod like he meant to do that, and
sure.
uses his movement to move to right about here. I would imagine, right? Let's see. About right there.
Okay, yeah. You move up into where those other guys are. Okay, Volca, you have flown into a rage. How do you look different? I mean, how do you get more bestial? Do you have anything that is specific about you that marks you as different as being in a rage? Or I mean, how does this look?
I think my fur kind of puffs up a little bit, so I look physically bigger. And then she took some of the blood from her forehead from getting hit with this rock and just kind of smeared it on her mouth, and just sort of her fangs are much more prevalent because she's constantly snarling when she's in a rage.
Okay, yeah, I love it. All right, what do you do?
I'm gonna just come at this guy and try to bite him with my fangs.
Okay.
11.
At 11 will not hit, unfortunately.
All right, I will try again because I have 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's better. 21.
Yep. Yeah, so he starts to flail the first time and just kind of smacks you away, but you force through it and you actually sink your fangs into him.
All right, 9 damage.
Okay.
And then I think I'm gonna use my avalanche ability, which is a bonus action, and he needs to make a 17 strength save.
Oh boy.
Or be knocked prone.
Nope. 15. So yeah, you just bear him down to the ground. As you do, you kind of shake your head back and forth, just in that blood frenzy. There's like ice that starts to form. Some of the blood starts to freeze into small, sharp shrapnel bits as it's flying off of him, and it's enough to actually you tear out the side of his jugular and the upper part of his shoulder, and he is no more as you bear him down to the ground. Anything else?
That's my turn.
Okay. Whew. All right, so they are continuing to try to run and flee. I think this one who is right here, he's got Levi coming up on him. He's got Volca doing that next to him. I'm going to have him roll a morale save, basically. Oh, boy. Despite the fact that these folks all have some sort of strange magical infection, some sort of strange ability on them that's making them try to be hostile to you all, they are quickly deciding that this is not the best answer. So this guy is actually going to try to move and run away as well. As he does so, Levi, you can attack him if you wish. And I'm going to roll something else real quick for the other people, because... Okay. So, Levi, do you attack the guy, or you let him go?
Levi's gonna let him go
Okay.
at that point.
So he continues to move. He kind of gets caught up in this brush that's here next to Anna's home. And then the one who is by you, Roche, he is just still, stop, let me go. You don't understand. And all of the other ones that are all over here are running off into the night. They have lost their morale. They are no longer in this fight. So they are just double moving, basically. So they basically get taken off the map unless you guys go hunt them down or something, which maybe you will. I don't know. But
kind of feel like it.
Eldritch Blast can reach that far. Speaking
Yeah.
of Morse, it is your turn, sir.
Everyone is fleeing, you said, right? So
For the most part, there are a couple that are still involved here, but most of them are running off. Yeah.
I really don't have a way to just knock them unconscious, unfortunately.
Well, what can happen is if you get an opponent to 0, you can basically say that you're pulling it, you're knocking them out
Yeah.
or whatever, unless it's certain types of damage. I guess you could say.
Well, I'll try that with a Eldritch Blast, the one that's closest to me.
Okay. Go
And we'll see. We'll see if I hit. All right. So
Sure.
One zinger is a 21.
Okay. Yeah.
Or,
that green energy slams out again.
Yep, for 6 points of force damage.
Okay. And that is against this guy here who's kind of caught up in the bushes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So as you hit him, he gets more tangled up into the bushes, and you see that he kind of hits against something. He just kind of goes limp in the bush, kind of out of it. But your Eldritch Blast has 3 bolts that go off. We'll say that kind of you can focus it however you want. If you wanted to focus it to other people, that's fine. Or all 3 of them on him, however you want to do it.
Just the one on him. I just want to. Well, Roche, you've got a prisoner too, right?
Mm-hmm. He does.
I'll just approach him and intimidate him if I can. Do I have to wait till next turn?
He's knocked out, so you won't be able to intimidate him too
All
well.
right.
But yeah,
I'll
he's
just-
knocked out.
I'll still intimidate him. He'll remember when he wakes up.
You know what? Roll it anyway. Let's see. Let's get some dice going, buddy.
Who are you?
Where's Harvey
Performance.
Dent? Oh wait.
I rolled performance, so
Oh,
at
nice.
15, I did it with a
Who are you?
bigger.
Yeah. Start singing the Who. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Not 20.
20. Nice. Okay. Yeah. You yell at his unconscious form, and he's gonna feel that one in the morning for sure. Awesome. Anna's like, no, please, everyone, stop, please, don't do this. And basically, you guys all have everybody kind of dead to rights at this moment. Yeah, people who are fleeing are feared. You can quickly round them up. It's really just beating a dead horse at this point to try to just continue to try to waylay these folks, unless you all are trying to slay them all. Are there any of you who are trying to end these people, or is it kind of comes to a conclusion when they do?
I'm trying not to slay them all.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I'm interested in what's inside this guy's head. So I want to.
And what's in this? You know, I'm intimidating this guy, and I'm looking at him in the face, even though he's unconscious. And you said he had a symbol.
Yeah,
On
it's got
his
like a rune
forehead,
carved
right?
into his forehead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recognizable, or
So you grab him and you spin him over, and as you start shaking him awake with that intimidation shake, you know, who are you? What's going on here? That sort of thing. You're yelling in his face. You kind of, and he looks at you, and his eyes go wide, and he goes, no, it's power. It's from the sky. No. Ah! And you see that his eyes start to bulge and burn. The fire that's within him in his eyes starts to spread. You see it, there's lines that appear in his face. It's almost like there's light coming from inside of him that starts to burn out from within. Stretches in his skin start to spread apart as the light seeps through. You all start to look around, and all the people that are left, this starts happening to. It's like the light within them is so strong, it's burning through them. It's cutting out into the night. Parts where the lights streak through, which would basically be at all of you at this point. And everybody, please make a dexterity saving throw of 15. Just tell me if you pass or fail. We don't need to worry about what numbers are. So,
He
I
considered
throw this guy to the ground and
yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
hiding my eyes and step out of the way and pass.
Okay.
Would this be considered an effect that I can see?
Yes.
Yeah. I failed, so I succeed.
Right. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Levi?
Levi, let's see. I have to check his decks real quick. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
He didn't do too bad. A 17. for
Okay,
his
so
dex.
that's a pass. Okay. I'm sorry, Savoka. What did you have going on?
I succeeded. Dirty 20.
Okay. So you all managed to dive and move out of the way. The light, as it streaks and it cuts through the night, there are parts of it that streak through, hit the buildings. It burns it away. You can see that there's part of the thatch roof that catches on fire in spots. Pardon me. There's also where there's certain townsfolk that are nearby that are unfortunately still kind of caught up in the middle of all this because this was so fast. It burns through. There's a man who is trying to get a woman and maybe a woman and a child out of the way. It hits him and it cuts up through him like a lance and it streaks up through his body and burns him to a cinder as he drops to the ground as well. Everywhere this light that streaks out of these people touches starts to be engulfed in flames, and parts of the town are now burnt and are burning. And Anna's like, no, please, no. Well, actually, we can look at the map. Levi, you're closest to her. Levi, please roll actually, what's your passive perception? I'll just ask you that instead of having you roll.
Passive perception is, it's actually pretty high. 17.
17. You see from your vantage point out of the corner of your eye, and you slowly turn your large hulking form to see that Anna's eyes, again, these cataracted over eyes that don't really see anything, are bright gold, burning with the same intensity as these people who are dying around. As she's yelling, no, please, no. And as everyone dies around you from the conflagrations that are within them, there is that roar that screams through the night once more. A harbinger of death and destruction, the thing that came from the stars to destroy this town, maybe your quarry. After break. So let's go ahead and let's take a quick 5-minute break. Let's have everybody step back. When we come back, we'll find out what exactly is going on. What is this strange monster that's doing this? And let's find out what our heroes are going to do about it. So let's take 5 minutes, freshen up your drinks, do a bio break, and please come on back because you know what? We've had some tricks. Time for some treats. So we'll see you all in a little bit. So
All right.
come right back. Thank you. And we are back, and hopefully you are too. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us. If you're just joining us, welcome. We are playing a special Halloween one-shot of La Notte Eterna here on the La Notte Eterna channel. I'm joined by some awesome, cool players, some of which you have seen before, one of which is making his debut tonight, so hopefully you've been finding lots of love for them. They are in the town of Raven's Glade, which has called for some help. There is a beast that has been stalking the citizens, causing some problems, and just now, before we went to break, some of the villagers who are a bit upset with this stipulation have seemingly been bewitched and have released some sort of solar flare out of themselves that has engulfed and destroyed parts of the town, and there is much terror to be had here on this special Halloween episode. So let's dive back in, shall we? Our players, we'll pick back up. It's been a little bit after the events that has happened. We will pick back up in Anna's home once again. There's a long, silent pause as the four of you either sitting or standing because you're more comfortable that way or because you are a huge hulking, massive form that can't fit in a chair. Stand looking at the woman who is rocking and looking at the fire. Her eyes, still blind, don't see anything, but she seems to be watching something distant unfold. And oh, you have something? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm pissed.
Okay.
So as the souls of the ones that were just killed are still fresh to me, some may even on their journey to wherever they may be going linger with me for a while. Woman, tell me what you know of this. You're not telling us everything. This creature is bound to you somehow, either through fate or through blood.
Or both.
There's a long pause from Anna as she sits rocking, looking at the fire. The little girl that had shown her around, Sophia, is still nearby. She's off kind of in the corner of the room, watching, listening, but staying out of sight. She seems to be Anna's assistant of some sort, whether she needs one or not. And at last, finally, Anna speaks. It is correct. I have not told you everything. And for that, I am sorry, strangers. I should have from the get-go. We all are, in a way, bound to the creature. Oh, those years ago, my great-grandfather, when he found the beast, he made a pact with it to ensure the safety and the survival of the people here. You have to understand, at that time when the sun first disappeared, things were terrifying, things were scary, and things were unknown. And because of that, people made choices. And my great-grandfather, when he discovered that there were others and beyond other people, creatures that would dare try to harm Raven's Glade, when he found the beast could be nullified by blood and the sacrifice of meat, first small game and then larger with every passing season, he knew it would be necessary to make this pact to ensure the survival of our people. My family has accepted this onus onto us and have made sure that we continue to pass it along. Because I am the last, I fear that it is my fault that this is happening. That I have not done all that I could to ensure that the goals are still met. And I will live with that until my last breath.
Will your death release this bond? We can make that happen right now.
I would hesitate for that, because to kill her might destroy the pact. That he's already in danger would only bring the beast fully to this place.
As I have understood it, that the pact does give the town a safety from the creature, but it is trying to go against that pact. I have wondered so many times if my death would be enough to stop this, but I cannot be certain. But I do know that it can be potentially killed at the spot where it was first found, at the spot where we have made the sacrifices in the past, before the game of the area went scarce from our hunting. There is a tree to the northeast of here. You will know it, you will see it, and you will know it immediately. It is large, and it does not seem that it is from this world either. According to the tale of my great-grandfather, this tree sprung up from the blood and the arrival of the creature, and that it exists as well as it. You will know it when you see it, I think. I have only seen it in my dreams, so I know it is real.
That is
You
what
ask us to go and kill this for you. You brought us here, withheld information to the last. What else? What else can we use before we go headlong into possible death? Anything your grandfather owned, anything your father owned, anything you may own. What can you offer us now, woman?
It has been
Was
lost
this all?
time.
Just your words.
Levi speaks. I think this thing is more bestial now than ever. I think its hunger is insatiable, that even if she was to perish, and this is startling everybody because he really doesn't say much.
Mm-hmm.
If this woman was to perish, I don't think it will satiate this beast's hunger or break any pack. I think it is coming.
You say it's more bestial now, but what are these men outside with the symbols on their head attacking us now? Under some sort of power.
I think they're thralls, subservient to the beast, eyes of the beast.
You think it controlled them?
That is my first impression.
If we go to its lair, to its birthplace, what if it controls one of us?
Then we do what must be done.
Death is a part of this, after all.
We've all taken that pact. Look at our abilities. We're gonna have to answer to something someday.
Despite what you may think of me, your death is not something I look forward to.
And you shouldn't. Only reason why I look forward to it is because it was denied to me.
Yeah. Volka, what do you think?
I think there is more, Anna, that you may tell us. What do you know of these thralls?
To be honest, that is a new development. It has only happened one other time. I would guess, based on a story that I was told when I was a girl, not much older than Sophia. Originally, when my great-grandfather found the beast, there were other men with him, men who fell to its thrall, fell to its power, but they've all been long dead. It's been nearly 120 years since the last of them perished.
I share Morse's frustration that we were attacked and that your people are after you as well. But I feel that we must deal with this beast. We are the beast hunters. And this beast is of fire. We shall see what happens when it meets ice and shadow.
Well, I hope that you are lucky and as skilled as I believe you to be. I will be honest. The people of my town were not pleased when I said that I was reaching out to your group. They learned of your nature, of the tales that have followed you all four, that there was perhaps a danger that once you defeated the beast that you could become creatures to hunt and destroy us as well. But I have to believe that even in the darkest places there is light.
Let us hope not.
Well,
Levi's lip kind of like gives that little like affirmative sneer because he knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So he finds the humor in it.
I hope that you are enough. I hope that finally resorting to having monsters hunt a monster has been enough to rid my people of this. It will be upon my head what happens now tonight.
We are not kind, and we are not gentle. We hunt for purpose. I wish to know that your people will not come after us.
I know that anyone who is left here in the town will not come after you. They have no reason to. Others who have been similarly marked, I don't have any speak for them. Because to be completely honest, those who came and wanted my blood price tonight were not voices that I recognized.
But they knew your name.
They did? I do not know what this would mean, but I do know that the danger is drawing ever nearer. I can feel something different tonight. The creature is changing somehow. I feel, I see, here, and here. Things are different now. I don't know how much longer I can keep calm. Sophia, darling, you might want to go find another place to be while they go and they deal with our problem. And you can see she's starting to have some sort of inner turmoil as well. Different than the guys outside who suddenly burst into flames. You don't think this woman's about to spontaneously combust or anything like that, but you can see that she's actually starting to slightly glow a little bit. And she's giving off a heat.
Well, your
that
father
even
went
from
out and burned the whole house down, right?
That's true.
Yes, I doubt he used the match. So
It's-
I think we go to this birthplace, make it a death place.
You guys all suddenly hear a voice from the corner of the room. I've been to the tree. I can show you where it is. No, Sophia, you must not. It is too dangerous. It is all right, Anna. I want to help them. It killed both of my parents when I was a girl, very young, and, well, I have seen the place where it is from, and I can take you there. I'm not strong enough to help you fight, but I can help you at least do that. Will you let me
Come,
guide you?
child. We all have our part to play in this.
A guide indeed.
And she walks through the room past Anna, and Anna just kind of briefly turns her head slightly, almost as if she's regarding the child walking through the room, and she seems to stop herself from saying or doing something, and she just looks back to the fire. It'll take us about an hour or so. It's not that far, but if there's anything you all want to do before we go, you should. I won't be scared this time, she says, looking at you, Morse.
We'll see about that, child.
Right? Is there anything you all wish to do before you follow Sophia out into the dark?
No, I think I'm good.
Well, I want to let my comrades at arms here know that I do have a spell that might aid us this night. Could put the beast into a mental prison. Maybe something we could try at the very first and avoid any kind of physical harm to ourselves.
Levi shakes his head affirmatively. Slightly.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't give the good. No, not that. He just Kind
But
of
it's enough for them to know. Sure.
Oh yeah.
I can always try to surprise you, to give you the element of surprise. A shadow.
Depending on how, is it more beast or is it more man when it comes to its thinking?
All beasts
How
hesitate.
he might be able to resist.
But all
It-
beasts hesitate when they see themselves.
You wish to use some sort of illusion or something then? Is that what you're saying? You want to try to...
Yeah, well, it's a,
Yes, I'm going to try to turn
Intelligence.
myself into it.
I see.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
Interesting. Okay. Volka, you've been quietly taking everything in. What do you think is the best course here?
You may try the tricks you have, and if they fail, it thinks it has fangs and can howl. It is not the only one.
Well, for my trick to work, you must bare your fangs. So,
Of course.
we must all bare our fangs in this moment.
Are you all ready to go then?
I think so. I'm
Just
good.
one question to Anna. I don't know if we'll see you again after this night, one way or the other. Would you care to join us for what may turn out to be on this occasion?
I think I will enjoy the show well enough here. It's
We would
very... And
keep-
you actually see a single bead of sweat dripping down her forehead. It's very warm, and I think I would catch a chill in the night if I were to go out now.
Perhaps Sophia is safer with us than staying here with you.
She just nods. And Sophia will lead you all outside, and you can see that the fires that are out here have been mostly extinguished. There's just a couple, things, parts of the thatch roofs that people are tamping down to eliminate that. The bodies are still being moved and kind of cleaned up a little bit. You can see that the well has just been kind of the source of everything going on. There's just people standing around, and they all seem to look at you all as you all come out, and they look to one of their youngest leading you all out of the town. And Sophia walks with purpose. She gets to the edge of the town, and without slowing down, without doing anything to steady herself, she just leads you all in a direction that is in fact northeast, in the direction that Anna had said. And you all walk through the night. The night gets cold once you leave the town. It's almost as if the town had, probably because of the fires going, maybe because of the fact that there was a fire with the explosions of the bodies, but it actually gets a little bit chillier as you go into the night, and there is that fog that begins to creep across the ground, long tendrils, fingers that are reaching out for your shadows as you all move along. And as you all get a further of a way out, you notice that Sophia walks quietly. She is a child, but she seems so much more mature than that in this moment. She seems to have a purpose. She is steadfast as she leads you all out there. And after a while, you all start to smell something on the air. It's a strange, burnt smell, a mesquite type of smell that comes from somewhere ahead of you. First, it just smells a wisp here, a wisp there, till eventually you start to see the occasional ash float through the wind past you all, almost like a distant snowflake. There's even one or two of them that you'll notice as they land upon your shoulder, Levi, or down by your feet, Volka, or through your hair, Roche, or even on top of your hood and your shoulders as you walk along, Moors, that some of them have a cinder to them. They have a little bit of the edges are still that orangey hot. They don't burn you, but they're enough to know that there is a fire that continues to rage somewhere ahead of you all. And eventually, as you continue to move along, the night That cold begins to die out, and the fog begins to recede as there is an unnatural warmth that begins to come in from the woods around you all as you move forward. And as you do, Sophia suddenly stops. It's just around that bend there. She points up ahead, and when you all look ahead, you can see that just out of view, streaming from somewhere, is a faint orange flicker, almost as if there is a fire up ahead that you can't see currently because of the way the foliage and everything is. But she motions that's the way to go.
I imagine at this point it looks like that scene in Frankenstein when the little girl is guiding the monster.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
That's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He kneels down to her and tells her, thanks her for her guidance, and that she should seek refuge or sanctuary, someplace safe. And just to be assured, he gives her a blessing of Teneris and casts resistance on her. So just in case if any harm falls on her while she's trying to seek safety, you know, he will find her. So
okay. Yeah, you call upon that magic, and you feel it kind of enshroud her, almost like you put a cloak on her or a coat on her, and she just looks at you and nods, and she actually, to your surprise, reaches up and she very tenderly touches the side of your face, right across some of your stitch marks.
You'll
be okay.
Levi usually doesn't feel warmth, but at that point he does feel a warmth he hasn't felt in a very long time. So
looks to the rest of you.
Volka looks at her and says, in case the gods don't come. And she'll flip up a dagger and hand it to her with the handle.
She just looks at you. She reaches up, she takes it. She's got a hold, not gripping the blade, but puts another hand steadying. She holds it close. Thank you. Okay. And she just turns and makes her way back towards the town.
If you two are done, do you want me to scout ahead?
Levi turns and nods.
Okay.
All right, I will be right back. And I will attempt to blend into the shadows and stealth my way to the bend.
Alrighty, perfect. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth test then.
And before he fades out, Levi makes contact with him, so he's watching.
I mean, it's a 29.
Wow. Where'd he go? Ooh, I don't know. You slip off into the shadows and you move ahead. So Roche, as you move ahead, as you are silent, almost as if you are in fact one with the shadows, you were chosen by the darkness. Most people try to learn from the dark, become one with the dark. Some people even try to control the dark, but the dark chose you to manifest its powers through. Being a Karevi, this wasn't this hard. Your people have an inherent connection with the dark, but you are different. And so as you move, it is in fact silent because sound can't possibly be made by you as you move through the wood closer to where the creature's lair is. And as you pass around several corners, the shadows begin to get thinner and a little bit more sparse as you move along because there is in fact light coming from ahead. And as you turn and step through the final shadows nearest towards where you are going, you finally catch a glimpse of the tree. It is a large, massive tree. It's got to be at least 30 feet tall, wide. It's got a crack right down the center top of it that almost gives it the appearance of a large, gaping maw. You can see in between the cracks of the bark of the trunk of it are rivulets that seem to almost be light strands or even some sort of lava, some sort of inherent burning cinders of a tree that still smolders. There is smoke that trails off into the night, partially obscuring the moon here. And as you come out and you see this, you notice the ground around also has these similar cinders. And go ahead, if you could,
Mm-hmm.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
An 18.
Okay. There is something that is disturbing and something that is actually a little bit terrifying about this place. There is a fear that starts to creep into you, but you push it aside because you are, in fact, one with the dark. You're not afraid of whatever that was, but there's something here. You know it. And despite yourself, the hair on the back of your neck stands up.
What's the range on my... Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I will pick... I'll pick Levi. So Levi, in your head, you hear Roche speaking of a tree, an otherworldly tree, a otherworldly feel to the area, no visible monster to be had, but something in the air, something in the atmosphere that tries to intrude. And you get a general image of the path I took and where I am now and that kind of thing.
In Levi's mind, the way he interpreted the vision and his description is that it was almost like a dark, twisted version of the world tree in his mind because of his, sort of, background.
Interesting.
So,
Sure.
So, yes, and he passes along this information to the others. Not so particularly the tree's description and what it reminded him of, but of, Rosh's description and how to find him.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, Roche, as you pass this over, as you're standing there, there is something that changes about the air, something that's a little bit uncomfortable, and you hear a sound of something on the other side of the tree just out of view.
Oh. Very quickly, as like mid-sentence, Levi relaying the information, he gets in his head, oh no, it's here. It's on the other side of the tree. It's here. Definitely here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roche hears one word, flee.
Yeah, he will begin to retreat.
Okay.
Backing away.
All right, please make another stealth test if you could. Unless you're not moving stealthy. I mean,
Oh, I'm moving still.
that's always an option.
Only a 27 this time.
27, okay. Yeah. So you creep back into the shadows and begin to blur your way back. As you do, you hear that sound, that grunting, and you see something shift behind the tree. It moves, and as it does, you see part of a shoulder of a large creature, that fur that I mentioned before in your vision that you got as you were looking upon stuff in the town. You also see that there is a tail that drags past the back of the tree, and it looks like exposed vertebrae. It looks like bone shards that have spikes off the top of them that it slithers along the ground as this creature drags it behind it, as it shifts and moves and cracks into something that it's eating on the other side of the tree.
Yeah. So Roche will appear out of the shadows next to Morse and just be like, it has a tail too. It looks bad, so but it's there.
How do you want to approach it?
Well, I mean, you are magic, so I only have some. I could darken the tree, perhaps giving us element of surprise. There is not much darkness there, unfortunately.
I wonder if creature of darkness doesn't use the darkness to its advantage anyway. I will approach using my own stealth. And if my way fails, then we attack.
All right.
It's a bold statement. Okay.
And with the spell, I turn myself invisible.
Cheater.
Imagine like Elliot, and Elliot's dragon. He does this and then pop.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. So you begin to move closer. Go ahead and make a stealth test for me, please.
Yay. Stealth. That's not the worst. A 6.
Oh wow.
Pretty stealthy there, huh?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So Moors, as you move forward, you move through, and you're taking a different approach than what your companion was taking, where he was actually blending in with the shadows. You actually are moving in a method that is more just you on the ground moving. As you move all around, you get up closer, and right as you catch sight of the tree, there is something that you snap into on the ground. You instinctively look
Always.
down to see what it is, and it is a human bone that you've snapped into, and there is actually a ring. Luckily your companion didn't mention this, so you might have maybe thought this plan different. There was a ring of bones around the tree, discarded remnants of the feasts this creature has had. And as you look back up from the snapped bone, you see the large hulking form whip its head around in your direction, and with a snarl, you see it begin to turn and start to stand upright. A large, monstrous form that does rise up to probably closer to 12 feet tall. Large, wide shoulders. It is... You fought werewolves before. It kind of looks like a werewolf if a werewolf was from the fires of hell itself. You can see that within it is a burning fire, hellfire that starts to seep out of cracks it has in its body, just like the trunk of the tree behind it. And you can see that there is that unnatural amber flame in its eyes and its mouth as it opens its mouth into a roar. It shakes the tree behind it. And I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
7.
Oh, no. Okay.
I have a +4, and
All right. So, because of the fact that you are now currently frightened of this creature, much like the effects of what was going on before when Volca did a similar effect, you want to try to flee from this creature and try to get away from it. You can't move any closer to it. You can try to escape if you want, and you see it slowly start to saunter forward towards you.
a little dose of my own medicine here.
The rest of you do hear that scream as it rents out through the night and shatters the silence. So let's have everybody roll initiative.
Yeah, so I come back, and I kind of forget for a second that I'm still invisible, and I speak to them. I'm like, it's huge.
Yeah.
It burns with a furnace inside it.
Oh, yeah. Not good stuff. All right, so everybody's initiative. Roche, what do you have?
That was a 20. No. What did I just roll? 24.
24, okay. Levi.
You Dex people. I rolled a 19.
Yeah.
19. Volca.
I also rolled a 19.
Nice.
Double digits must be nice.
Moors, what did
A
you
4.
get? A 4. Oh no!
Oh, no.
This is it. It turns around for our buddy Moors here. It
man.
is going to go on this number here. Okay, great. So, okay, Roche, you will be first.
Right. I'm going to, hearing the roar,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quickly move forward. But as I move forward, let me knock off some key points here. I turn into the beast.
Oh snap!
Now there's 2.
Yeah. And I roar back.
Okay. So, how specifically is this working? Like, you actually turn into it? How does this? What is
Yeah,
this?
so this is where is my so this is called Darkness Shroud.
Okay.
I'm still in darkness or dim light right now, right?
Yes.
So I spend 4 key points to change my appearance. I can appear as any creature of large size or smaller.
Okay. It's a large size creature. All right.
Transformation is illusionary, but appears completely real, reproducing appropriate temperatures, sounds, and smells of the depicted form. Physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion, so if it attacks me, it finds out. To understand I am disguised, a creature can use its action to inspect my appearance. I must make a intelligence investigation check, DC 16.
Okay.
And the transformation ends if I decide to end it. If I end up in bright light, make an attack, or become incapacitated, and or die.
Alrighty. And I remembered your challenge at the beginning of the game about dying, so that will be kept in mind. So don't worry about that. Alrighty, so you step out of the shadows. The shadows engulf you, a shroud that changes your form, and you all see this creature, another one of these creatures, step out from amongst you all as it moves forward. And as it does, the creature along the way, you are aware right now which one is which because of the distance and everything. The one that's on the other side that is near the tree, its eyes narrow into slits, but there is a burning. There is actually a trail of smoke that wafts off into the night out of its eyes as it regards you.
I match the smoke.
Oh, okay. I love that. And it just looks at you confused for a moment. Is there anything else you wish to do?
I would, with my roar, I would like to try to also attack its mind. So I would like to attempt to telepathically speak into its mind and just scream at it.
Okay.
It does need an intelligence of 3 or better.
It has an intelligence of 3 or better. What languages do you speak?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Or does it speak a language? I guess is the question I should ask.
It does, in fact, have the ability to speak and understand a certain language. Yes, I am curious if it understands language.
It doesn't matter. Whatever language it understands, this is the language.
Okay.
So this is an attempt at deception. I'm trying to deceive it.
Okay. So, sorry, I hit something. So, what exactly do you say? You just scream? You just scream?
Well, I'll scream like without screaming because my throat's already gone.
Sure.
You are the pretender.
Okay. And all right. Interesting. Okay. Alrighty. And I made a note here. Okay. So I'm sorry. What does it have to roll?
Nothing. I'm just trying to deceive him.
I see. So you have to roll. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead and roll a deception check. At disadvantage.
30-20.
You know what? I waited too long to say that. So that's fine. Dirty 20. Okay, dirty 20 is good. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Dirty 20. Okay. You see it just kind of and there's like rivulets of the slaver that drips down its face are a light, almost like lava coming out of its face, and just as a drip, it hits the ground as a sizzle, and you see it just slow, like its fingers start to uncurl. They're inhumanly long, and it hits the tree and across the tree. Pieces of the bark fall. When they do, there's like a sap that is glowing that starts to trickle down the tree.
Oh no! Pissed it off.
Levi, what do you do?
Yeah, he kind of looks at Roche. He's just like, oh, Tenebris. So he, yeah. So what he does is he moves to flank Roche just a little further back, just to move closer to him. So he'll use his movement to step in, just in case he's got to throw himself into the fray if this thing lunges for him. You know, it's kind of like, I imagine this is like a cat when it sees its reflection in a mirror at first, that reaction that it had. So yeah, so I'm gonna move into position, and yeah, I think on this turn I will channel divinity and channel in chains. So this is his ability from being an adept of dark adept of Tenebris. So the creature will, as I'll invoke chains of steels to restrain your enemy, and then yeah. So I brandish the emblem that's on my chest. I just kind of touch it and then make like this holographic, I want to say, you know, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like reliquary just kind of pop from his chest. Okay, it's almost like he's holding like a part of his heart or something like that.
Yeah, it almost looks like a copy of it. Like, it almost looks like you pull your heart out of your chest and hold it up for this thing to see.
Yeah, and you just see at that moment, you just see chains just come around it, and yeah, it's gonna have to make a strength saving throw or be restrained for 1 minute. DC should be 16.
$28.
Okay. Well, that would be a success. So you see the chains take hold of it, but it almost seems like the creature just burns them off.
Yeah, it just kind of flexes, and they melt and burn and pop and rip off of the thing, like the Incredible Hulk coming out to rage at everybody, and they just shatter and fly apart, and it throws its head back, and there's just more of those, that rivulet just kind of sprays around. The heat is emanating off of this thing, just through the night. Anything else you're doing?
No, while somebody might be, you know, I don't know, disheartened by that, and maybe, you know, kind of take pause and all that, you just see Levi's feet just kind of dig in, and he kind of like takes that stance, you know, it's like, bring it.
Okay, all right. I love it. Cool. Volka, you are up now. What do you do when you see this creature and you can tell that the fight is definitely being fought right now?
Amazing. Volka just mutters to herself, "Oh, I am going to enjoy this." And I will move up to, I think here is good enough. Yep. And I'm going to chuck a javelin at it.
All right.
Oh, my.
Hell yeah.
I forgot I was going to rage before this.
That's okay. So you're raging.
Perfect.
Fly into a rage, rip out the javelin, and go.
Yep. That's a 21 to hit.
21 does hit, yeah.
Yes.
A little worried there for a second that it would.
9. I know. 9 piercing damage.
Okay. You got it. The javelin moves forward and it hits into its shoulder, and as it hits it, you see it start to melt and bubble and sizzle away. It does hit it, but not nearly as much as you would like. Anything else you do?
Not for now. That's good.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, then it is going to, seeing that all this is going on, it just kind of, again, it takes its fingers and down the side of the tree, more of the bark flies off, and then it turns, and with a roaring scream, it is going to surge up to meet you, Volca. As it comes forward, it is going to attack at you. There are large, massive claws that come at you as it swings. They are going to roll to, with a 24 to hit,
That will hit.
and a 27 to hit. So it comes at you with 2 hits. They are going to be. And
I like how you're
The one
telling
that's
us the
raging.
numbers that's getting.
hey, you know, I'm a fair guy here. Okay. So the first one comes in for 17 points of damage, and the second one comes in for 18 points of damage.
All right, and those are slashing damage.
They are, yes.
I'm
So
raging, so I'm resisted to those.
so
So
you reduce that. Those numbers are before the reduction. So
great.
Yep.
Both 9, so 18.
okay. And then as it rakes down into you, it's just going to try to just maul into you, try to bite into you again with a special ability that it has. With a 25, which is going to be, oh boy, where's my, there it is. 28 points, which is going to be reduced down to 14 for you.
Perfect.
Okay. And that is going to be that for its turn, as it just, and there's just more of this like bloody, like almost looks like a hot water, but with colorations in it. It's just splashing around as well, kind of singeing part of you because you are inherently cold, being one of the North Wolf barbarians. Moors, you look up from the ring of bones that you're standing in, and what do you want to do, sir?
I'm sorry, say that again. I was reading.
That's
what I
right.
was gonna
It
do.
is your turn. It is your turn.
My turn?
What did you read about? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
All right. I'm going to move and try to get into be at least some partial cover. These, I don't know, rocks, trees, whatever these are.
Yeah, they're like partially upturned tree stumps. They're burnt and singed like the bigger tree, and they're just worn down to stumps and lumps along the ground. Yeah.
Okay. And with an intense concentration, I curse the spirits that are bound to me as I draw from their power to cast mental prison on this creature.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a level 6 spell.
Oof.
He's within range, 60-foot range. I just wave my hands, concentrate, and I attempt to bind the creature in an illusory cell that only it perceives.
Okay.
And it's going to manifest itself as howling spirits from maybe. Well, if this is from hell, then these howling spirits are from heaven, right? So it's meant to, cause. Well, it's going to cause some psychic damage here. So it has to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
And I believe 16 is the target number.
You feel
What?
the force power go out, and as it slams and wraps around this thing's head, it hits it with such a force that it was not expecting at all. With a natural 1, it slams into it. So I'm going to have you go ahead and do max psychic damage.
Max psychic damage?
Yeah.
You're sure about that?
Yep.
All right. 100 points of damage.
Fuck yeah. All right. And you just see its head.
To hold it in this illusory cage as the angels of heaven are tearing it apart with their swords and
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. They come down streaking wings that it just buffeting into this thing, and you can see cuts exposed, and they're outside, almost like they're slicing through the air, but then they're slamming into the creature from all different directions. And now, does this stay on it, or does it just do that round and it goes away? Or how
So
does it...
it's this round. He takes the damage, and if it attempts to move beyond the cage, it'll suffer more psychic damage, and the spell will end.
I see.
So
Okay.
in its mind, it's trapped, but if
Right.
it tries to get out and it does, then it's
Okay.
spell on.
All right. Very good. Okay. Cool. So yeah, that's that's what's going on. So Roche, you see that this creature seems to feel like it's trapped. It looks like it's having a hard time. You wish to push the advantage and move through the shadows. As you do so, you start to move forward, or what do you do?
Oh, yeah. No, I can totally. In Volka's head, she hears Roche say, I guess that didn't work. And he is going to jog his little way, and it's about to drop because he's about to flank and punch this thing.
Okay.
So he's gonna run up, try to punch it. Does a dirty 20 hit?
It does.
All right. All right, roll. Oh, nice. 12 bludgeoning on that one, and that, for the purposes of resistance, is magical.
Okay. Good to know.
Also, it needs to make a Constitution saving throw. As stunning strike comes. DC 16.
18.
All right, we will punch again. I'm just wailing. Oh, I forgot to do advantage. Anyway.
All right, we'll go ahead.
Natural 20. We'll take that.
All right. All right.
All
Love that for you guys. First nat 20 of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible damage. So 13 total.
Okay.
And again, stunning strike. So con save again.
Plus con, which is plus 23.
Oh man. All right. Fine. We will flurry of blows.
Fine, be that way. No. Alright. Flurry of blows. Okay, so you continue to press the advantage, and just with this thing stuck in place, you're just waylaying into it. Knees and elbows, chops, jump spin kick.
All right. That's 24 to hit the first. Or wait, what was the first one? I might have missed it one time here. So it was 28 to hit and 18 to hit.
The 18 will miss.
Okay. So one more con save.
Using up those key points. Dirty 20.
Rats. He does take 11 bludgeoning though.
Okay, good to know. Alrighty. So, yeah, you just continue to just slam into the thing, above it, just literally just pounding, kicking, chopping. You actually do a jump spin, like I said, hook kick to the face, and it just getting slammed by this thing. The mixture of that and the holy power coming down from Moore's attack is just really slamming into this creature.
My shroud is gone.
Okay. All right. And you are revealed to be your true form, so I will go ahead and change that back.
Yeah.
So you do all that as the beast, and as you land, it just kind of, and you are you as you land in your cool monk battle stance. Levi.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a creature that is not from this world, much like the story will tell you, and you can tell that there is certain hellish flames that are tied to this creature. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, Levi will move swiftly forward, and peering at the creature, he, not dissuaded that his first attempt to restrain this creature had failed, he is going to cast Banishment.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay.
And it's over.
Yeah, I mean, God, thank you. Good night.
Is that how it works, Dad?
It's a, Kev, it's a charisma save.
Saving throw. Here we go. Okay. Oh boy, David, you're gonna love this number that I just rolled. It rolled a 19.
A 19, so that means it does save. So does it only disappear for a minute, I believe, or something like that? If that?
I believe that's if it fails, right? If it fails to save, it gets dismissed.
If a target native to a different plane of existence, the one that you're on, your target is banished. If the spell ends before a minute, let's see, you attempt. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading. I've only cast this like once before on another character.
Pretty sure if it...
And it ended the game. I'm sure the target. I'm sure the spell just failed, so it might have faded out for a moment, but then it just back to
it
existence.
passed. Yeah. As the energy hits it, it tries to banish it out of here. It just kind of like it's almost like you slap it or something. It recoils, but it doesn't really do anything else. You can see that there is a shifting of the air around it, like something ripples and tries to flicker away, but it has no effect. It doesn't work.
Okay.
You want to move or do anything else?
Let's see. I did cast a spell, so a cantrip as a bonus action cannot happen. Is that correct?
That was an action that you did. So yeah, you could do a cantrip as a if it has a casting time of a bonus action, you could.
Yeah. It's just gonna hear like the beginning of that famous Nick Cave song, Red Right Hand is gonna hear the bell. So wisdom save 16 as I cast Toll the Dead.
Ooh, Toll the Dead. Boom. It gets 15.
15. It fails. So it is going to take 16 points of necrotic damage.
Nice.
Alrighty. You got it. And that the Dolores effect of the bell just there's like the sound effects you can see just go hit against it. And yep. So then it is gonna be Volca.
Reckless attack.
Oh yeah, baby. Here we go.
Let him have
I'm gonna
it.
use my great sword.
Yes.
Well, that
Here we go.
roll twice.
It's about to get serious now, boys. She's gonna show you how it's done.
17.
To hit.
Yes.
You swing the great sword, and the creature, despite being trapped, it puts its hand up and it slaps it away.
All right. Well, I'll try again.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. 29.
The 29, yeah. As it slaps it away, you just continue spin and slice across its stomach, and there's a gout of heat that comes out with its blood.
All right. 18 slashing damage and another 4 cold damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. And there's a sizzle from the cold as it goes through the heat, and the creature has a little bit of a, but it does not fall. It looks like it's still got a lot of fight left in it. It looks like it's getting mad. But anything else you're doing?
Is it large or is it bigger than large?
It is large size, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna try to use my bonus action to use Avalanche again. So that would be a 17 strength save.
Okay. Oh. Okay. It's gonna fail with a 10.
All right. It's prone.
Oh yeah. So yeah, and as you hit it, as you slice through it, it drops, and the weight of him just pulls him down. He's trying to push himself up.
I collapse the cage on him too as he falls. Just keep the effect going.
Absolutely. I love that. So he, believing he's trapped in the cage, He's going to try to just resist. He's going to try to get back at you guys any way he can. Is there a way for him to resist this? You said, Nate.
No,
or
he. I mean, if he chooses to leave the area or attack, he can attack something like through the cage.
I got you. Okay, well, that's what he'll try to do. He'll try to attack you, Volca. He knows that you are doing some damage to him, so he's going to try to attack you.
So he'll take additional damage when he does that.
Okay, that's fine. Hang on a second. Wrong section. So the attack is going to be a 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the damage is going to be. Sorry, this is a big block. I gotta scroll. Kind of teasing. You are going to take 18. No, I'm sorry. That's not the right one. 2d8, not 2d12. 2d12 is something totally different. That's a much different number, right? Okay, you're going to take 16 points of slashing damage, reduced down to 8 because of your raging.
Great.
And how much damage does it take from that, Morse?
He takes. Only do 5 at a time. He takes 32 plus 28, 60, 68. No, 32, 50, 66.
66. Oh boy. All right. So yeah, the force cage continues to slam and just crack down on it, and it is going to just. It looks like it's flying into a rage itself. You see it just trying to just do anything it can, and much like it did to the tree where it kind of raked down the front of it, it just kind of stabs its fingers into its chest and rips at the bark of its chest. You see the fire inside starts to glow and spread, almost like you're looking into the interior of a volcano or maybe even a star as it spreads, and there is light, much like the guys in the town when they were burning apart, starts to slam out, coming at all of you guys. I need everybody who is actually it's everybody except for, I'm going to say that Morse, where you are standing, you're going to have partial cover. Everybody has to make a dexterity saving throw. Yes, dexterity saving throw. And I will say that the cover doesn't really do anything but a save, though, I suppose. But we'll do something. We'll do something with that. So, Morris, go ahead. Just roll that with advantage. I'll make it simple, because you're partially hidden behind the logs and stuff.
Is it an effect I can see?
Yes.
Well, I rolled a 4 both times on
Good
mine.
grief.
So a 5.
Okay.
And also, my math failed me. It was 60 points, not 66.
Okay. So I'll just put 6 back on. Makes it there. Yeah, makes it this. Okay. So what did you get, Volca?
18.
18. And what did you get, Morse? Oh, you got super low. Sorry.
Yeah, 4.
I'm on
5.
salt. I'm on rubber salt in the mood, I promise. I just forgot.
Wait, not a 4, a 5.
Oh,
Big
well,
difference.
You know what? In that case, you're fine. You pass, no damage at all. No. How about you, Levi? What'd you get?
I got a 10.
Okay. And how about you, final party member here, Roche?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So, those of you who failed, which is everybody except for Roche and for Volca, are going to take 47 points of fire damage.
Oh.
The Volca and Roche are going to take half of that.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, yeah, that's right, because you got your cool evasion stuff. Yes, that's right. You're just like, nah, I don't think so.
I'd be roguelike. I'm sorry.
And Volca, because this is fire damage, this doesn't get reduced, so it's just going to be what was it be, 20, 23? No. 47 divided by 2, yeah, 20, mostly 21. Is that right?
I think
Sorry.
it's 24.
Okay, I had it right. Oh, it's 24. Okay, 24. Yeah, cool. All right. Sorry, long day. Alrighty, so yeah, and the fire just is burning out at you all, and that's what it's doing.
So,
Ouch, that's an attack.
Took away more than half my hit points.
Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah,
With
that
that-
would have hurt.
Oh, I can probably mitigate that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with my Arms of the Dead. When you take damage, you can spend a spirit point to gain resistance to that type of damage
There you go.
till the end of your next turn.
Knock
Cool.
it in half.
So that'd be a
You
half.
wish. Okay. All right. So yeah, you do that, and you
So
temporarily have resistance
the
to fire.
spirits that are always with me kind of come out and block
Yeah.
some of the fire.
I love that. Absolutely. Cool. Alrighty. And Moors, what do you do on your turn now? Tell you what, you really changed the battlefield with this thing thinking it's stuck, because this thing's got crazy movement. So
Alright. So it was 37, so half of that is what, 15 and 4, 19?
it was 47. Half of that was 24. We figured out.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
24 half would be.
And it's my turn.
13,
Um,
12.
all right, I'm gonna spend 2 spirit points.
Ooh. Okay.
All damage for the next minute becomes necrotic.
Ooh. Okay. Smooth.
I guess it's just I'm gonna approach from now that he's burned me,
Mm-hmm.
and as I walk forward, into my hand materializes this wicked-looking morning star with the chains and the 3 spiked balls on it, and covering the morning star is the green-white mist of souls as my
Yeah.
packed weapon appears in my hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
As a bonus action, I cast forget what it is now. Apologize here. It's the spell that it adds more damage. So let's see if I hit first.
Is it a smite?
Oh, it's light.
It's a warlock ability, or it's something different.
Yeah, it's a warlock spell. Oh, but I won't keep things.
Because I know there's an invocation that does that. The agonizing stuff where you can Eldritch Blast does more
That only
damage.
works on Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, but it's like inherent. You don't really cast it; it just does it. Is
Right.
that what you're talking about? You're talking about something different.
I thought I had it up here a little bit ago, and now, of course, I can't.
Ruh-roh.
Now, would it be safe to say that Levi's Infernal Protection kicked in as a reaction?
Is it Infernal Protection? Is that a subclass
It's a-
feature? What does that do for you?
That's a subclass feature. Basically,
what's it do?
resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage on the attack.
Okay.
But it
Yeah,
was neither of those, or was it?
It was just fire.
Just
just
fire?
just straight up
Okay.
fire damage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was a fireball.
it was fire. No,
Basically, fireball exploded out of its chest. Yeah.
got it. Okay.
It does fun stuff like that. Why not?
Oh.
You know.
It's Spirit Shroud. It's a
Oh,
bonus
Spirit Shroud, okay.
action, and because I don't have to concentrate on the mind cage anymore, I can do this one. You call forth the spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration, and until the spells end, any attack you make deals an extra 1d8 extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work.
Yeah, this spell's gross. Yeah, I remember using this before.
All right. So after all that, let's just see if I even hit the thing now.
Let's do
So
it.
my Soulfire Morning Star,
Okay.
+7 to hit. 16.
Unfortunately, the Morning Star comes forward. It swings out, and even though this thing is relatively stationary, prone, and you get advantage because it's prone.
Okay. Come on, baby.
I forgot it was prone.
That's better. 21.
Okay, 21 will do it. Yeah, so you bring the Morningstar down, and you slam into all three of the heads, just pop, pop, pop into this thing's chest, neck, and head. What's the damage on that? As the spirits dance about, they
All right.
swirl out of your body.
So the damage for the Morningstar is 4 plus the extra 1d8, and I'll have to determine what type of damage that is. Another 2, and then the extra for the 1d10 necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
So say this is necrotic. The first one is necrotic too.
Yeah, no, I got you.
All the same.
Yeah, because
So
you said all your
that's-
damage becomes necrotic, so yeah.
So 2, and then another 9. So that's 11 plus the 4, 15.
Awesome.
I like the 100.
I know, right?
100.
I know, right? Yeah. So yeah, you just continue. The spirit shroud is swinging around this thing. The cage it has on its mind. It's just clinging further in, just digging into it. This thing is just all kinds of twisted and turned around. And Roche, you can see that you guys are starting to win the day. You see the tree behind it. The fire within it is starting to glow a little bit brighter. Parts of the bark are starting to burn and fall off as they hit the ground. They splash and they turn into ash. Almost like, you know how you take a bit of a fire and you throw it and like all the ash and the sparks fly and they kind of dance across the wind? It has that type of effect as it shatters on the ground. The tree looks like it is taking some of the damage as well. From your vantage point, you can see that actually where the tree trunk is growing out of, it almost looks like a large crater in the ground, like where a meteor had struck this area many years ago. So what do you do?
So this thing is prone.
Mm-hmm.
Roche is going to attempt to do something that is either stupid or stupid.
It's the best thing to do in a one shot. Let's do it.
Right. So he's going to attempt to jump onto the back of this thing
Okay.
Wow.
and reach into his bag and pull out the immovable rod.
Oh God. Okay.
I grabbed one of those too.
Okay. All right.
And he's going to place it against the backbone of this thing, press the button,
And
And
pin it
then-
down.
and then bonus action flurry of blows
Okay. All
while
right.
still atop it.
I see. Okay, do this then. Because it's got a bunch of stuff going on, go ahead and make an acrobatics or an athletics test to jump all up in there and get on its back.
So I'll take oh gee, that's tough. So I have a better acrobatics bonus, but I get advantage on athletics. Oh wait, no, that's only with the rope. I'll do acrobatics.
Okay.
21.
21, yeah, you flip in there and you jump and you land on its back, and as you land, the immovable rod is out of your hand and you slam it down behind it. Go ahead and make a strength test. Strength check.
Strength. Okay.
Yeah. You can use athletics if you have proficiency in that.
It's the same.
Okay, it's trying to inherently resist because it's flailing about and trying to get out of this just massive assault on it right now. So
It's
you're doing an opposed roll.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay, it did not beat a dirty 20, even with its super high +8 strength.
Yes.
So yeah, you activate it, and when you let go, you see the creature is like pushed down onto the ground. It can't move. The rod is basically holding it down between its shoulder blades, and it just, you can see its hands are slicing through the ground, deep furrows that are burning and singeing. Part of the dirt that it's grinding through is actually turning into glass as it's swiping it around, trying to get out at you guys.
All right.
Flurry of blows.
Flurry of blows.
They all have advantage because it is
Oh,
been.
that's a 27 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
For a minimum of 6 damage. And then 23 to hit. For a nice fat 13.
Oh boy. Okay.
So a total of 19 damage flurry blows on its back. And I'm still there.
Yep.
which is why this might have been dumb.
Because you were there, I need you to make a Constitution save.
A Constitution save.
Yes, sir.
14.
14. You are going to take.
Oh, it's on fire.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you are going to take, that's 16 points of fire damage.
Oh,
Just because you're on top of it, it's on fire. It's extremely hot. You can feel it burning your loins as you're kind of straddled on top of it, holding onto your one hand. Your fingers are starting to bubble and blister, and yeah, you're still there though. Is that for your turn, Mr. Monk?
I don't suppose with the movement I have left I can get off of it.
Yeah, I could say yeah. You could continue your movement and get off. Sure.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to flip back off of it, land, and yeah, I'm gonna run toward the tree
Okay.
and just stop right where it's making a crater.
You got it. Okay. You get over to there, and the tree feels like blazingly hot. It's like you're reaching into a fire itself. Levi, you are nearby the creature. You see it just continue to flail and dig. It's trying to dig its way out of the ground. You can see that it's actually got its one arm is kind of semi-moving, trying to dig its way out, but the rod is holding its other arm kind of half pinned underneath it as it's trying to get out of there. It just snarls and kicks up dirt around it. What do you want to do?
Okay. I could either try to, retaliate, real physical with this creature, or I could choose to try to put plans in motion that will try to put a swift end to this creature. So for the first move of this, and I'll have to wait around for the next one, I'm going to make it make a wisdom save against Bestow Curse.
Oh boy. You guys are just pulling out all the stops. Okay.
Curse upon curse. That's lovely. I like that.
Wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Okay. Fate's turning back around here. 17.
Ooh, it just saves.
Okay.
It was 16.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So what can remind me what I can do as a bonus action? I know I can move and take my movement.
You have standard action, you have a movement, you have a bonus action. It should say whatever type of the ability it is, what is a bonus action or not.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, bonus action. The bonus action is going to be a cantrip. And again, the bell is going to ring for this creature.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, it's a wisdom save of 16, obviously.
Almost dropped it on the floor. It's going to get a 20, dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20, since it's already damaged or something like that, I think it takes some damage. At one point, the lure spell, the target must... let's see.
Yeah, I think if it fails to save, it takes additional damage because you are drawing out additional death power upon it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's all right.
All right, yeah. All right. Yeah, this beast is stronger than I had imagined, and he's saying this in infernal, upon his breath. I don't know if the others can understand the language Tenebris, but it's getting to the point to where, yeah, he's going to be taking out the torture tools at this point.
Oh boy, okay. Yes, Tenebris wants to play. Okay, is that for your turn then?
That's it. That's my turn.
Volca, a beast upon a beast. You have met this thing in brutal combat. You're ready to have some fun. You can tell it is panicking. You've seen this happen in other creatures that you've all defeated before. This thing is in the final desperate throes of this fight. What do you want to do? Can you end this right now?
I'm gonna reckless attack again.
Oh shit.
I
Okay, here we go.
think.
You don't have to. It's prone.
Yeah.
You have
Oh,
it.
that's true.
You've already got advantage.
That is
You've already got
true.
advantage. Yep.
Good reminder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys took away this thing's mobility, which was like the big thing that it was going to be able to do, because I knew you had a monk, and I knew you had a guy who could blast stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to have this thing running all over the place. No.
That's a 26 to hit.
26? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you bring the sword down. Yeah.
All right, 13 slashing damage
Okay.
and an extra 1 cold damage.
Okay.
And then I will attack again.
Okay.
21 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that wasn't good. 9 slashing damage. And another 6 cold damage.
Okay. Yeah, you bring the greatsword down, powerful, strong strikes. You're putting all your weight into it, and you're just cleaving giant rents in this thing's back. And you can tell that you are just beating this thing down. It is barely holding on. But is that your turn?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. So this creature manages to, because it's kind of partially been digging away, it digs the rest of the way out. It gets its face free. It says something in some sort of weird language. Does anybody speak Abyssal?
I do.
Okay. You recognize that this thing says in Abyssal, "Bring the fire down on them." And from above, there is suddenly a storm of fire, almost like another meteor is coming down at all of you. It is blasting down into all of you. I need everybody to please, well, actually, it's 10 foot. Yeah, everybody please make a dexterity saving throw. And Volka, what'd you get?
17.
17. Okay.
9.
And 9.
Yeah, I join them with the mighty number 9.
9. And what do you get, Tim? Roche?
22.
22. Alrighty. Everybody except for Roche did not pass the save. So, in this final desperate attempt, it uses its last innate spell-like ability. It brings a firestorm down on all of you. So what happens is hurling bolts, like I said, like chips of a meteor come down, recalling the memory of how this thing arrived to rip down out of the sky in the same trajectory that it first entered. It buffets down into the tree, slamming off branches. They ignite and catch on fire. The brush around all of you explodes into fire as well. And as these pieces of flaming rock hurl down upon all of you, it is going to be 70-10 fire damage, but you're going to take half, Roche, but probably you get
Nope,
more than
I'm
that
not gonna
because you're
take any.
you're evasion boy.
I'll be spending a spirit point for
Okay.
Arms of the Dead
Okay.
to get resistance.
The damage is going to be
Spirit.
Kind of feel bad with all this fire going everywhere.
51 points of fire damage. And you see that as that happens, part of its internal flame is starting to burn out. The tree is getting partially destroyed by all this damage as well. So with the 51, Tim, you would take half, but you're super crazy evasion guy, so you're fine. You're dancing. You're like jumping up on top of the flaming rocks.
Pretty colors.
Yeah. So, Morris, you said you wanted to use a spirit point to negate part of that?
Yeah. So I'm resistant to fire at
Gotcha.
the end of the turn.
Gotcha. Alrighty. And
But I'm
it takes
still pretty hurt.
okay. And it takes some damage as well. But that will probably be the last thing it's able to do, because Moors, you can see that this thing is so wounded. You can see its blood is openly pumping out into the dirt. It's trying to fight back against that rod. It just cannot get out of there. It's going to take too much time for it to get out. You guys need to do something definitive now to finally end this.
So Moors is burnt and bloody from fiery rocks pummeling him. His hood that normally covers his pale skin has fallen away. He looks horrible. And the first thought is to just bash this thing with his morning star, but instead he raises his finger and blasts it and blasts it and blasts it a third time with the
Just a double tap.
hellish blast of Kia, that death bitch.
Oh, yeah. Korea has come to play as well.
Why are... When I roll the dice... Oh, there it is.
Magic.
All right. 21 plus... 25 plus... 6 plus 8 is 54 total of
Okay.
force damage.
This is your Eldritch Blast?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Morse, you stand on wobbly legs, burnt, singed, barely able to stand yourself, and you bring down the Eldritch Blast, the fire that is within you, the dark power that Kriya gave you those years ago, the experiments. You unleash all of that fury, all of that rage down onto this creature, and as you slam once, twice, you see behind you, first there was a gout of flame on the left side of the tree. And as the second one hits, the right side, a little bit lower, explodes as well. The third one slams into it in the entire center of the tree, directly in front of you, because I believe you said you approached it, correct? Roche?
Yeah. Yeah.
Roche did, yeah.
It explodes in front of you and spread. It doesn't do anything to you. There's just like hot flaming sap and wood bits are coming out around you. You see the tree is just getting pelted and destroyed. And finally, as that final blast comes out of the center of it, you see the creature flail one last final time and begin to rupture and burn. There is a spreading of its energy that ripples across the ground, and as it does, it just burns and melts as it moves around. The tree starts to fall and burn and come down around it. Above, all that smoke that was coming out of this semi-burnt tree clears away, revealing the full moon as it shines down around all of you. As you all stand there, bloodied, beaten, bashed, Roche is like, "What are you guys doing wrong?" He kind of does one of these. He looks at all of you. You all look at each other, and you know that you have successfully won another hunt this night. You all turn,
Yeah.
and you see a small girl standing there. Are you ready to go back now?
One moment. Roche turns to the tree, takes out his decanter of endless water, and says, "Guys."
Nice.
Nice. And you just
Nicely done.
a deluge into that thing. And yeah, you all head back to the town. And when you do, you can see that as you get back to the edge of the town, there is a lot of the commotion was going on in the center, all the dead bodies being moved around, people trying to see to the wounded has relatively calmed down. It's pretty late at night at this point. Night in the land of near, night is actually day and vice versa. So this is actually pretty late in the waking hours, we should say. And as you approach, Sophia steps off to the side, and she just thanks everybody. Thank you.
Or
She's-
welcome?
Did you watch?
No, I,
Or what about the old lady's home? Is it still standing, or
it's still standing. It's still
hasn't
there.
been burnt to the ground?
No. Do you all approach Anna Ravenna's home?
Yeah, Anna.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you all approach, you find Anna Ravenna still there in the rocking chair, swaying slowly by the fire. The fire has burnt down to that last little bit of warmth, that last little bit of cinder in the fireplace. All the logs are completely burned away. And as she continues to sway, do any of you approach her?
I'm just gonna be by the door with my decanter of water, just in case.
Just in case. I think it would probably then be Moors. Moors, as you step into the room, as you approach, kind of hobbling, kind of walking, I'm sure that Levi has healed you guys, being a cleric, even
Yeah,
of a dark
because
god.
yeah, I would have hit everybody with a mass cure wounds.
Right. As you approach the woman, as she continues to rock, as you step up to her and you look upon her countenance, you see that the house is still intact, but she is just a burnt husk swaying back and forth in the chair,
Oh,
no longer needed to carry on the curse and the unholy and unnatural connection between her and the Loyak, the creature from another place that has been disposed of this night. And in fact, it does take monsters to hunt monsters, because now the town of Raven's Glade, Radura del Corvo, is safe. And as you all step out into the town proper, you look back to the home of Anna Ravenna and wonder what might perhaps come next.
I look for her spirit, and instead of it coming to me, because the spirits that come to me can't find their way to the next life, but for her, I see her spirit disappear into the sky.
yeah, Levi's gaze follows because he can see the things that he sees.
Yeah.
So,
Love it. Awesome. Oh, cool. It looks like Bleak Season, my man, you rated us. Thanks for being here, buddy. Love your channel, bro.
Rated.
You're the man, and we're glad to have you here. We are actually just finishing up our cool Halloween tale. I'm not sure when you rated. Miko just told me. I was in the moment with these awesome players. But thanks for being here, man. You rock. And Bleak's running some really cool stuff on his channel. He just ran a really cool game. They did some cool spooky stuff like this too. But anyway, this was La Notte Eterna, and this was our special Halloween episode. I hope it was spooky enough for you all with a cool creature hunt. Let's have everybody go around real quick, and let's have everybody just say who they are real quick and say where they can be found on the interwebs, because all these people are amazing. You're going to want to see more of what they're doing. You will see two of them very soon with some stuff going on, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's go over here, same order that we introduced everybody. David, my man, who played Levi, the Leviathan, the Goliath,
yes.
cleric of Tenebris. Please tell us what all you're up to. Tell us where you can be found, and tell us what you're up to next.
Okay, when I am not here causing mayhem with our game master tonight, I am usually part of the Murder Hobo Incorporated cast. As a matter of fact, we got a show coming up tomorrow night, Kev.
We do.
Come on.
We do.
You can find me on the Twitterverse or X-Twitterverse, at Bardic and Funky, or as the handle is, Bardic AF. And just check out just some of the antics we get up to. I usually just try to keep tabs on everybody at this point. But this was a blast, Kev. I had a good time. Really good time. So happy Halloween.
Yes, indeed. Good to share a table with you again, David, and I look forward to tomorrow when we get to mess some stuff up in Murder Hobo, because we're at the nearing of that campaign end, so that'll be cool to see.
Two campaigns, actually.
Yeah. All right, Deb, on the other side, tell us where you can be found. I mean, you do tons of stuff, some of it with some people here, so what are you up to next?
I have a lot of stuff coming up in the next week. Over on Wanderer's Haven on Monday, there's an Obajima game that is going to be super fun. It's a new game coming out next year that is kind of a cross between Legend of Zelda and Studio Ghibli stuff. So super fun, super cozy. I'm really excited about that one. Wednesdays I'm on in Miko's Eastera games, and that's always a blast. And then for the charity stream next Saturday, Miko is also running a magical library cats game. So a couple of us being cats and being weird. So that's going to be totally tons of fun as well. So check it out.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great stuff, Deb. You are a blast to hang out with, and I appreciate you being here, being the voice of reason amongst these crazy rowdy boys who then smacked Loyak down. That was amazing. Thanks for being. It was cool to see you play a big martial badass character, because you're usually the cool.
I really have fun with barbarians occasionally. Yeah. They're so much fun. Thanks for having me back at the Endless Night.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. On the bottom row, Nate, how about your first experience in the Eternal Dark, my friend? Are you okay? Did you come back in one piece? Or?
I'm okay. I thought it was a blast too.
Right on,
Nothing
man.
like a good monster hunt.
Yeah.
Nothing like, the old you're given all these powers and you think your character's such a badass, but then you kind of forget that you're going to be up against some badass creatures too.
Yeah, right.
So I think we worked well as a team, and it
Definitely.
came out, with the best way it could.
Mhm.
And yeah, thanks for inviting me to this. I kind of feel like I'm the occasional special guest star that comes onto these streams. So, anytime you need a helping hand, be sure to put me on your speed dial for
There we go.
coming on in and offering up my brand of fun.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Nate. Appreciate you. Where can they find you on the socials and everything again?
I'm on Instagram, DJ_Dungeon Master. If you want to come by and just talk nerdy shit.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Very cool. Doing lots of cool terrain stuff and everything. Yeah. Cool stuff. Nate's old school, so he's got all kinds of cool stuff. If you want to talk about stuff,
Want to know about stuff? I got stuff I can talk about.
I got stuff. Let me tell you. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Nate. Look forward to having you back again sometime soon and playing other stuff with you. And finally, Tim, our completely untouchable monk. What's up, man?
Hey, yeah, that was way more rogue than I thought it was gonna be. That was a lot of fun. I love this whole universe of grimdark. I chose to go the other way from my rogue, but I still ended up the rogue. So
Right.
it is what it is. I think Pem would be proud. You can find me on the X, Twitter, whatever the hell it is, for however long it's that. Flam Blackmore. You can find me over on Rainbows and Razor Blades on Friday nights, starting again this next week as a murder hobo. Not gonna lie, he's a cyborg murder hobo, but we're playing Cyberpunk Red. We're in like halfway through season 3, so like we're coming to the culmination of a long campaign that's been really awesome. And then I'll mention it for you, Kev, because I'm super excited to play in Save Game coming up on Saturday, right? That's
it's next Saturday, yeah.
The 4th, yeah. Where I will be playing a knockoff version of Yoshi in a video game world. So I'm super psyched for that.
Absolutely. It's going to be a blast. And Tim, thanks for coming back, man. Looking forward to seeing you again. There's already been some discussions, so I'm sure we will see you again in some capacity here. But yes, I am Kevin. I was your humble Dungeon Master this evening and host of the channel. I can be found online on the socials at KevRan Games on all the different things. I am the Dungeon Master here on the channel, as well as the U.S. Ambassador for the Notte Eterna brand. If you like what you watched here today, please tell everybody. Let them know what we're doing. This was a one-shot, but we have lots of really cool arcs that are on our YouTube channel and are also going to be soon coming back to Twitch. We have a special way we're going to be having them stick around for a while. If you want to play some Notte Eterna yourself, go up to the link tree, which is right above David's head. You'll see there's a link tree /Notte Eterna where you can get the quick start guide, also learn about the setting. And if you loved it that much, which of course you did, you can really back into everything and get a pre-order going on to get the books when they come out just a few months. It's a really cool setting, and we only scratched the surface. So, come join us in the Eternal Dark, But this was amazing. I appreciate you all being here, and I appreciate everybody watching. Hope to see you again next time. Tonight, we're going to raid some brand new friends, Adventurers Pack. They're playing some gaming right now, so we're going to head on over to them. So if you're from Bleak's channel, follow them over there. If you've been watching us the whole time from someplace else, follow them over there, because spread the love on Twitch, because that's what we like to do. But this was amazing. Again, happy Halloween to everybody, and hopefully we'll see you again soon, because we have, starting next week, we have not one but two new Lanark No. La Notte Eterna.
Eterna.
We got 2 La Notte Eterna arcs starting up, one of which is a seafaring campaign where there'll be pirate-type characters, and another one will be a return to the Blood Domain where the vampires rule supreme, which will be super fun. So thank you all so very much. Until next time, may the moon smile upon you. Good night.
Thanks, Kevin. Good night, everyone.